Alrighty. So you've been contacted by Big Vakka, who's a Deveronian living on a planet called Kofar in the Outer Rim. And you've been here before, Jaste. You've met with this guy. You did a simple job for him, I think. Um, and yeah, he's contacted you because he has heard through various means that a friend of his has had droids go missing, and that particular person is paying a lot of money to get those droids back. So you'd be flying into Kofar. Now you know this is dangerous. You've done this before. The whole planet is extremely uh, poor visibility. It's just like this thick sort of acrid fog that covers most of the planet, and the very few settlements that dot the place are on these huge sort of mountains high up. And so, who will be piloting?
I
Me.
believe we still have our pilot from last time that I
Excellent.
was hired.
Now,
Yes.
you actually did you? You haven't been to Kofar. No, you haven't. Okay, go ahead and give me a piloting check, difficulty 2, please, with a setback.
For sure, sure. I'll get rid of that setback due to my little stunt that I have, not stunt,
Sound.
ability that I have as a pilot, talent, where I ignore one setback. Oh,
Excellent.
but this ship has a handling of what was it, 2?
Let me see.
Sorry, I should have that
It's all
up
good, man.
somewhere. Let's,
It has a handling of
yeah,
-2.
yeah, it's -2, so an additional setback dice is 3. I get rid of 1. So here's the roll. Just I'll get rid of that light side point. So success with 3 advantages.
Yeah, you're fucking killing it. You're coming in on this gaseous planet, and I guess maybe Jaster had told you before about the huge sort of soaring creatures that fly through these gas clouds and guzzle up the gas as they go by. And so it's no surprise to you when one comes up from underneath you. You could definitely slide out of the way, right around it, as this titanic thing just like guzzles up all the gas around you. And you do not crash and die, which is excellent. Good start. You continue onwards to the landing pad of Big Vakka's establishment, where you're met by his friendly protocol droid, K3PO. And he's one of these Imperial. He's got the weird bug head rather than the friendly human face, and he's waving his dumb little arms as you approach. And as you disembark, he will greet you. Greetings, my name is K3PO. You are here to see Big Vakka, I assume.
Let's see here. Who would be the guy that's greeting him? I mean, I'm just the
Whoever did
pilot.
first.
Well, I speak binary.
Yeah, he'd love that.
I'll go up to him and I'll say, like beeping and booping, I am here to see your master. Take me to him.
At once. And yeah, you guys, you have to have your rebreathers on when you get out. The atmosphere isn't friendly. Nonetheless, you're brought quickly into a little airlock where the gas that follows you in is sucked out, and then a second door opens into a sort of Warren-like series of caverns that open up into several small cantinas kind of dotted around this place. And you move through and you see people playing sabacc and chance cubes and bands playing typical cantina music. You can see that the clientele is extremely thuggish, not a nice place to be. And you're brought through all the way to Big Vakka's room. And in his typical style, he sees Jaster and he stands up. He says, "Ah, my friend, my friend. Yes, excellent. It's so good to see you. Come, come, come. Come, we have much to discuss."
I would mention that Abraxas would not be quick to peel his breath mask off once he entered the establishment, even if it's pressurized. He would keep it on as he is off to do.
Brax's friend. Don't worry, the atmosphere is not that dangerous. Kill a few brain cells. Surely you've lost a few already, yes?
I find it helps with keeping the citizenry at bay. I mean, I'm not one for people skills, but when I start talking to people, they just don't seem to understand what I'm talking about. Do you know what I mean?
I understand clearly. You're prettier with the breath mask on. Yes, it's best to keep it on.
And as he enters, of course, he has to step sideways to allow the breadth of his chest to get through the door.
Quite a specimen. Gabble takes his off freely and walks in. Also kind of walking sideways, but for different reasons as it practices large, bulging muscles.
Yeah, I'll take my mask off as well. Like as Tef comes in, I'll throw my robe to the side a bit and slowly power it down as exhaust shoots out. And there's a dramatic moment where like the musician misses a beat and everyone zooms in. They're like Nemoidian, and I just like.
Yeah, you definitely get some stares from a bunch of people like, "There's fucking worms coming in here," but nobody does anything particularly aggressive. But it's very passively aggressive. It's a lot of like murmurs and stuff as you unveil your worm face. But Vakka does motion for you to follow him into his little room.
Yeah, most certainly.
So he brings you into this fancy little room. He's got rugs all over the place. And a nice little cocktail bar and everything. He offers you whatever you would like, and then he takes a seat and he leans forward. And he says, "Well, I've got a communique from a friend of mine, Toktari. He's had his droids taken. Well, particularly one droid, the one he cares about. It's an ancient thing, an architect droid. It has a very particular skill set, very, very expensive, and he rents it out to people to teach them things. It's not important. The droid's expensive, and he wants it back, and he's paying top dollar."
Well, you better be paying him top dollar to bring in a crew like us. We're the best in the galaxy.
The Deveronian raises an eyebrow and looks to Jaster, and he says, "Yes, indeed. I remember the last time you did a simple job. The Imperials wouldn't leave for a year. Patrols were tripled."
Yeah, it's funny that you would call it a simple job before and after. That should tell you something.
It was simple. You just, it's not important. What is important is I need you to get these droids.
Pardon me, Big Vakka, and I'll take my hand out in front of me, doing some diplomat maneuvers. This droid has been undergo regular scheduled memory wipes, or was it allowed to gain some semblance of sentience? Develop a personality.
Oh, well, this particular droid, this architect droid, no, he wouldn't have his memory wiped. He's almost a person, but extremely valuable to Toktari. But he's not the only droid who was taken. Also, strangely, a simple labor droid and a protocol droid were taken from him also. No one was killed, nothing like that. They simply vanished.
So what you're saying is you don't know if they were taken or if they just might have wandered off.
No, why would they wander off?
Architect droid have a very powerful computer capacity. Develop powerful human emotion. Maybe he get the idea that he starts being architect, no longer train.
Well, it seems like you know more about this than me. What I do know is that they're gone, and I don't know where they're gone. I have a plan in mind. I have heard, and he leans in real close, you can smell his hideous breath. I've heard that a number of Imperial droids have also gone missing recently.
I'll tilt in and lead a little more because this is interesting. I mean, he's just the pilot, but this is weird.
So they just upped and vanished to you?
Yes, no casualties. From what my sources tell me, the droid simply vanished.
Jaster will lean back, tipping up his hat as he looks over to his new companion. Do we have a robot rebellion on our hands?
He'll slowly start to nod his bishop hat. It is a grave possibility.
What are you talking about, rebellion? They don't even think. They're machines.
Like eerie silence falls over the room. These machines are supposed to undergo periodic memory wipe for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the architect droid didn't, but the Imperial droids, surely. Like clockwork, I would think.
It may be a situation where this droid, this architect, now controls the other, and he is the one that is controlling some kind of rebellion.
Rebellion. I would think the Imperials would be all over that.
I tend to think it to be something a little less conspiracy-ish, huh? I think perhaps a criminal organization, maybe Black Sun or the Swoop Gang or something. I don't know.
It could be.
Well, I guess the important question is what's the pay for this simple job of yours?
Well, Toktari, he wants the droid. He wants it back. He wants it desperately. So he's going to pay each of you 2,500 credits.
Does a droid have to be in one piece and functioning?
Droid cannot come to any harm.
What about the restraining bolt? And I'll hold like a bunch of them out, fanned between my fingers.
As long as the droid's memory is intact and he's still functioning, fine.
I don't like walking into a job with my guns tied like that, but I guess if you're paying, you get to call the shots on that.
Toktari thinks that if his droid has gone missing, that other expensive droids might have gone missing also. If that's the case and you can bring back more droids, then more payment will come your way.
Oh, I like the sounds of that. What do you say, gentlemen?
I accept
So, sounds like easy credits if the job's done right. So the one droid, the droids in question can't be hurt, but others might get in the way.
Yes, well, of course, if you find ancient designs or expensive droids, the less damage they are, the better. The more you'll get paid. Scrap parts, we don't pay for that.
Do you know where they're all disappearing from?
Where they're disappearing from?
Yes, details, the scuttlebutt. I mean, how did you even know that the imps were losing droids?
I have a contact.
I think we need at least a sector to start, finding where these out, because it's a big galaxy. I'm not a tracker, but I can get us where we need to go.
Aye.
Like ghost stories, anything like that?
Toktari, 2 systems over. He has an enterprise similar to my own. And the Imperial base on this very planet.
Ah, so very localized.
So it seems.
Interesting. Thank you.
If I recall, you said something about having a plan.
Well, an idea. If these kidnappings are taking expensive droids, why not send out a signal that we have expensive droids? And he smiles like that's the best idea he's ever thought of.
Tough will quickly nod and say, "Yes, that would surely work."
Wait, you want us to act like bait?
Um, a trap. Set up a trap.
Well, I trust that you can let the information out in the proper way to the proper people, but to sell it, it might be good to give my friend here a droid to add to our cover.
I could give you. Suppose I could give you K3.
That's the protocol droid.
Yeah.
I would look at him up and down. What condition does the droid look like he's in if I appraise him?
Fine. Yeah. Like he's scratched to shit. He was once painted black, but he's mostly kind of chrome now. Looks like he's taking a beating every now and then. But he seems, functional.
Yeah, I'll go over and look underneath the joints and turn the hand over while the droid's like, what are you doing? And I'll be like, "Oh, yes, I will take this droid."
Well, on the plus side, selling our capture by whatever is taking these things should be easy. Our ship isn't exactly for running away or shooting at things. So, heaving two would, if this is some sort of piracy situation, we can sell that part really easy. If I'm understanding your plan correctly.
You are. I think, would they come here? Would they come here for a shitty old protocol droid? And the droid's like, "Oh, sir."
I believe it is. I think it's. Crap. What was his name again? I believe Vakka is the one who's going to be selling that part of the lie.
Yes, I think I have a plan.
Tough will say, "Perhaps I can lend my special expertise. If you want a droid that they cannot resist, say that you have HK droid."
Yes, that's a popular model. Notorious, I think. Yes, that's a good idea. We will say that we have a HK droid.
RX is pouring himself a drink. A very strong one. And sitting down.
We'll say that we have a HK droid and that he's been acting up. We haven't wiped his memory for a long time because he knows something. Yes, and he's twiddling his fingers together.
"Oh, very good. If this is the Droid Liberation Army, that will surely tempt them."
Very good. Then all you need to do is wait. Perhaps set up some sort of ambush or trap. I leave it in your hands. I will send out the message immediately.
That works, I guess. Would you by chance happen to know a military surplus or honey goods store near around if we're going to be making a trap? I can look around myself, but if you can recommend something,
I'm sure you could find some shady shits who live in this place. Sell you something.
Thank you. Well, I guess I'll go about my normal business in that fashion. And he will finish that slug of a drink and wait. Yeah, continue to listen to people.
Yes, if Vakka sits back, he thinks the plan is pretty much set. He thinks it's the greatest plan he's ever concocted. And you can tell by the shit-eating grin on his face.
Well, now that's settled, you got anything decent to drink here?
What's your poison?
Not whatever
Got
I just
any,
drank.
Carillion whiskey by any chance?
That's good stuff. He goes and roots around behind the bar and he's like, clink, 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 clink.
Just at the mention of Carillion whiskey, you hear a psh as the gas mask breaks the seal, and Abraxas pulls it back, hangs it on his utility belt, and he steps forward as drinks are being levied.
He takes out this bottle of Corellian whiskey, and there's probably half a shot in it. I was saving this for a special occasion. Maybe when you bring back the droid.
Well, you'll have to save it for yourself then. But do you have any bog snot back there? I'm gonna need something strong before I get back into the ether.
Yeah, he picked up this bottle with this hideous sort of snot green liquid inside. Clunk. Help yourself.
No trouble, sir. And he takes a good snort right up the nostril of it.
Tuff will ask him, "Do you happen to have any Eldoran Rouge liqueur, or is it too soon?"
Do I have any what?
Eldoran Rouge liqueur?
I'm not understanding you. I'm not sorry. What?
Eldoran. Rouge
Alderaan.
liqueur?
Alderanian, when you're using it as an adjective. That's your problem. A lot of people have that problem.
Alderaan.
It's called Eldoran, not Aldoranian. I drink it all the time.
Alderaan.
I'll pull the bottle of nasty green sludge away from my face and hand it over to Jeff. That's what you're looking for.
Only Phyllis. Yeah.
What does it smell like? The substance he's giving me.
Unless I'm being told something, it's got a metallic kind of coppery. It's like swallowing a bloody nose.
Oh no, thank you.
And yeah, Abraxas will take another snifter of it and then push it back.
He looks around behind here, and you can tell he's just making a show of it. No, I don't have any Ardoran Luge Record. But nonetheless, he'll get you any shit drinks that you want, and you guys can have a few drinks and stuff. Yeah, he will go and send out the message that there is a particularly spirited HK droid here at the base, and an old battered what's the word? Like abused protocol droid here also.
Guess while people are kind of enjoying the calm before the storm, or before they at least get on the ship, I'll make an exit and try to find that hunting goods or like military surplus store, both to try to find something decent, and I guess because it's my job, maybe see the legitimacy of what Big Vakka is saying.
Yeah.
In this case, go ahead. Sorry.
I would say streetwise, probably try and find somebody.
Yeah. In this case, the rarest thing I want is armored clothing, which is a hard check, and then like a shield, like a riot shield, which is
Yeah,
like
sounds reasonable.
2 purple. And I think most places carry something like that. So let's see how the streetwise does.
Oh, it's a negotiation if it's not restricted?
Oh, like finding a thing is usually streetwise if you have to roll for it.
That's not how it goes by Edge. I don't know what rules he's using though. It's
What?
definitely
Yeah, Streetwise
negotiation by Wedge. Yeah, Streetwise is for restricted only.
Okay.
Are you sure?
Yep, positive.
All right, let's go with negotiation.
All right. Well, I'll just take him for normal price then. If I can find him.
Yep.
All right. I'll just take him straight up normal price then.
Yeah, you got to find the guy. Is what I mean. So that's what I mean. So you got to run negotiation to find the dude. Once you find him, then.
I can boost
All
you
right.
on Underworld. I got a rank in it, but I'm not the smartest.
All right.
I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, although I do carry a sledgehammer.
Okay, I thought it was okay, because I thought it was a streetwise check to find things because of the rarity system. So it'll just be a negotiation to find in that
Yeah.
case. And what's the difficulty?
Two. Let's go with two.
All right. Well, I'm screwed in that case unless someone else wants to do this for me. Just like, okay, here we go. Success
Hmm.
with threat. Um,
Not that screwed. You find a dude.
oh,
um, this shady, little scrunty little Doug sitting in a corner. I got what you need.
uh, all I really need is, some armored clothing, maybe a few bits of Duraplast under these things. I got a lot of arms, so I'll take that. And
Hey, shut up! Shut up! Hey,
yeah,
you you work for Trundle, don't you? What?
well, I'm on a job for him, but I think working for is a difference. I work for my captain.
Uh, I don't like that guy. He killed one of the huts. I don't like it.
Well, that's not my problem, is it?
It is your problem now.
Well, that's not very professional.
Did
You
you
gonna
go alone,
jack up?
or are we with you?
Oh, it's up to you guys. I thought I was probably gonna hop out
With
while you guys were still drinking.
Okay.
A friend of
Um,
Trundle is no friend of mine.
like I said, not a friend, just here to make a purchase. Well, technically two, really. You know what? Um, how about give you an extra 50 credits a thing? You can.
Credits, I
I mean, you don't
suppose.
even. I mean, you don't even have to, put it in the till or anything. I'll, just put it outside the store if you got one of those cameras, and you know, it's your own personal profit rather than, your boss's.
He takes his weird little foot hand and he picks his nose with it and flicks a booger onto your shoe. Yeah,
Well,
okay.
I'm
50 credits extra for each. I'll allow
all
it.
right. Well, thank you. Goodbye. And I get rid of the monies and go back to the ship and feel pretty crappy about myself.
All right, so what is your plan? Do you want to try and set up some sort of ambush? Are you just going to wait for them to get here? What is the idea?
Let's see here. Oh, I thought people were going to try to get ambushed in the ship on a shipboarding or something. Um, but not quite sure.
What if we ask Big Vakka, what would he say about the similarities between where the droids have been taken? Have they been taken from like urban environments or factories or off of ships?
It's always with Toktari. It was in his like similar sort of cantina style little palace, and the Imperial droids are taken from a base.
Yeah, I don't know that we want to get our ship involved.
Yeah, I would say emulate the other locations as much as possible.
And my understanding is that they've already been putting out the word that we have this HK droid,
Yep.
and they would have been also putting out the destination or the location of said droid, so we would have a jumping in point. Do we actually have? Sorry, I might have misheard. Do we actually have a droid to disguise and/or use as bait for such a thing?
Yeah, you have K3PO, who is the protocol droid here.
And we're going to doctor him up to look like an HK droid.
Yeah, I could definitely do that. We could fabricate him to look like one, I think.
Yeah, I think the best plan would be to do that. Have Tef, make it a circuit every now and then to be seen with the droid, and have him set up with like a room or a place that he stays, where we can stage a ambush.
Now, being a a vet and or doctor of biologicals, I would have been trying to take a tally of how many artificial beings there actually are on this planet. Is it commonplace for there to be, you know, monodrone minion droids all bouncing around doing like menial jobs, or are droids rare and valued here? From my initial take of just being here for a few, you know, minutes to an hour, do we see a lot of droids about?
Well, you're only in this one little this area, you know. It's kind of isolated. All the settlements here are quite isolated, and Vakka just has the protocol droid. I guess he's got a few of those floor cleaning droids.
And how far away was the droid taken previously? The one taken from Tatari and the Imperial droids in like different little compounds, but relatively nearby.
Yeah, so Tatari was on a different planet about 2 systems over, but the Imperial base is like 2 or 3 hours flight away from here that they were taken from.
Perplexing. Yeah, Gabo's at a loss of what to do here. He's just kind of sitting back, and he's still sipping on this this drink that he had ordered, which was quite odd for everyone else, but it's like some amniotic fluid from one of those whale creatures that we had seen, those gas whales when we came in. So he's sipping on this like stank drink over there, just trying to, like, with his little buggy fish eyes, just watching everyone else, just trying to take their lead, kind of oblivious to what's going on.
What if we, it's one of those things like where there's smoke, there's probably fire. What if we put out a large order, fictitious order, we never plan on paying for it, for maintenance parts for HK droids? That way, like, somebody does the work for us, like somebody maybe at the docks or around the city hears about the order, and then they put the information out, so it's not like a direct leak from us. So they'll be like, oh, they're buying a lot of maintenance parts for an HK droid. They probably have HK droids.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, yes, I understand such things, markets and such. I could foster such a decoy if you would think it wise, no idea. So,
Yeah, he'll shake his head. Oh, of course. You handle that. I will doctor the droid up.
sure you will.
You don't trust me. You have a problem with Nemoidian. I see it.
Yes, our kinds have not had a friendly history, one would say.
Yeah, you're talking about what happened with that Quarren Council. I have nothing to do with that. And I'll throw my hand out like exasperatedly.
Of course not. You're way too young to remember such things. But your ancestors.
It was my grandfather. He in charge of Sokoth when he do that. Yes.
Yes. Your grandfather is directly responsible for the death of my grandfather, but that is of little import now. I'm here for the 2,500 credits.
Well, the way I remember it is that Quarren Council elects senator tax legally. It's your own decision.
Silence. I'm like totally like shut off from you, like not going to talk to you anymore.
He'll just throw his hands up like, whoa, of course, a matter of opinion.
Yes, my opinion being right and yours being wrong.
Once there's that brief pause and their little discussion, Jaster will lean forward and say, well, we'll be needing a place to for our friend here to do the work on the droid and to set a little trap. You got a place in mind or a place you can hook us up with?
Sorry, to Vakka?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have one of the private rooms, sure.
And I'm good to go ahead and put some orders in for military gear that would be used for manipulating HK droids. So I'm really like flooding the channels, the HoloNet for purchasing droid parts, basically. So I'm going to use my knowledge warfare skill to know where to go,
Yep.
and then I'll use my computer skill in order to plant those seeds where I need. So if you want to give me a boost die for my knowledge of warfare skill in order to know what exactly to do. What kind of challenge rating to put those little lures out there in the water for people to buy?
I think
Man, we're fringers here on the edge. We ain't got no warfare skill. Just kidding.
I think two. Two is fine for both. You have decent knowledge of this stuff, so.
Cool. So I'm going to just use my computer skill with a boost die from my warfare knowledge, if that's cool with you.
Sounds good.
Alright, let me just check. I don't really have computer skills, but I'm quite smart and on my way around data pad. Not too hard. Just putting some information out there on the hollow eBays, if you will. Alright, so I'm looking at 4 green for my intelligence and a boost die for my knowledge warfare against 2 blues, or 2 purples rather.
Yep.
Alright, so I got 2 advantages and 2 successes and advantage. So I just start flooding all these markets, these military markets and stuff for supplies for buying and mostly buying intake for these military things that are for this advanced model of HK droid, trying to make it sound like this thing is like very, very valuable.
Like a prototype or something. An advanced one. Sounds good to me. Yeah, you get the word out, no problem. There's some kind of confused chatter from several Imperials. You can kind of see as you're looking through, just like, what? HK droids? They're frowned upon. But nonetheless, the word is out there.
I could go the low-tech route, I guess, if we're trying to seed this, and start having loose lips about how my captain and his tech are like having a sudden interest in moving some HK droids. But I'm just a lowly pilot. What do I know? Seeding it that way.
Yep, sounds good to me.
So
I'm just sitting back and watching this Novoidian do his work with a skeptical eye.
Yeah, if we're doctoring up the droid, I'm gonna be like banging its head in with a hydro spanner to give it like a crashed tin can look, like an HK droid, and
Unlike a surgery situation where you'd want to be sterile, Abraxas, while you're picking up the droids, he's just peeled back his gas mask or his breathing apparatus, and he's shoveling food and rations into his mouth, and it's spilling everywhere. And he's trying to garner as much as he can from looking at you work on these bits, but nothing. It's right over his head.
Nemoidian. I don't know much about these artificial beings, but shouldn't they have some kind of transponder for finding them? Nemoidian.
he scratches the back of his head and he'll say, "You mean some kind of signature they can scan externally? Yes, they have wireless connection.
Just like us biologicals, you fool. Surely they must have something.
Oh,
So why don't we just get the information from the ones that are missing and follow the breadcrumbs, if you will?"
Oh, you speak about the long-term tracking like it is easy. It is hard. And I'll keep banging this droid and while I'm talking about it.
Oh my.
And I'm thinking about, like, this is like planet-wise, like, track we're setting. I'm like, yes, of course. You keep carrying through with your plan there, Nemoidian. Your plan is sound. And I start sipping my little fucking amniotic fluid drink.
He'll give it one big bang and the droid will be like, ooh. And he'll be like, look, it is one thing to communicate with a large wireless network, but to send signal through outer space. And he'll make like an exaggerated motion with his hands.
I will take your word for it, Nemoidian. You know more about this than I, obviously.
As soon as I get done like actually being the shit out of this droid, I will go in and change its signature so it
Okay, sure.
appears like an HK droid signature.
Um, I guess that's computers.
Yeah. Okay. What difficulty do you want?
Um, I think that's probably hard. So three.
Okay. Would you like to upgrade it?
Fuck yeah! I better start using these guys so you can start using them.
All right. We've got my slicers equipment integrated into my diplomat's robe, so I pull out like a little wire and just jab it into the droid.
Nice.
Give me a boost dice on the task. Bam. Oh yeah, ignore that.
Yeah.
Destiny point.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we
you
need more dark side.
nailed it.
Yeah, so I want to, if it's cool with you, with the advantages. Not
Mhm.
only will I change its digital signature to look like an HK droid, I'm gonna really crappily like slice in a program that makes it act like an HK droid.
Okay. Yeah.
So it like changes the way it carries itself. It's gonna start acting aggressive and posturing and like standing at vantage points, like something an assassin droid would do.
So,
Question:
Wonders.
what have you done to me?
so Nomodian. So this just so happens that your plan here, your plan works. Will we be able to find this new missing droid, or will it take your shooting the rays out into outer space, as you say?
Then the boy will say, "Duh, no need to shoot Ray that far, because we just bring who we're looking for to us, and then we make them take us back."
Very well.
He'll turn and look at the droid with like a confused look on his face, and he'll say, "Go stand somewhere that makes you visible.
Clarification: I am visible here.
Go stand somewhere that makes you visible to people from the street."
Affirmation: I will.
Abraxas will not shy away from hoisting the droid even only an inch or two from the ground and walking it to a public promenade where you can just drop it off outside the establishment.
Some of these dudes here in the cantina are like, how did they make that HK droid? Like, what the what? How? They like think you're some sort of god craftsman because you apparently just created this from thin air. Um, that's how convincing it looks. The way it moves and everything is totally different. Um, and yeah, it'll go walk around and get in some trouble. Just start calling people meat bags and whatnot.
Yeah, I'll turn and look at Gabu and say, "We should get ready, because they come looking for droid now."
Yeah, the HK droid will start doing patrols of the outside through the fog and stuff, keeping an eye out for anyone who might be coming. Um, would you guys follow him? Is that the idea?
Yeah, I'm gonna. You see, Gobble. He is military trained, even though he's like terrible at it. Yeah, he has read the manuals. He's over in some like secluded, shadowy corner, if I can find one, and I'm like in a somewhat seated prone position with my gun in hand, waiting for the ambush that I think is like a terrible idea.
And anybody of the group would easily like slink out of sight from Abraxas because he's not all that perceptive. But he'd be wandering around, keeping eyes on the droid and eating as much food as he could find, lying around from one tabletop to the next.
So the droid continues moving around, and a day goes by. You're kind of shadowing his steps everywhere he goes. Um, and no sign as of yet. Another day goes by. The days are short here, but even so, it feels like a long ass time. But 3 days in, he's walking out through the fog, and I guess you guys are keeping an eye on him. And perception check, please. Difficulty 3 because of this fog.
I'm going to say that Gabu has already become very weary of this 3 days of stakeout. So I'm in some shithole cantina eating some sludgy food or something. I'm not even aware if anything's about to happen.
Well, yeah, I'd like to put Abraxas out of the fray, but I believe he would have been in whenever he's awake, he'd be tailing that sucker. So yeah, he'll throw down on it.
All right. So Tef and sorry, I'm gonna get it wrong again. Arix?
Yeah.
Yeah. The rest of you guys, I guess, are just so bored of this tedium of standing around in this shapeless kind of pinkish fog all day, every day, just walking around, bored out of your minds. But you guys have remained sharp, and you can just almost imperceptibly hear, the thrum of an engine, and you see the HK droid come to a stop, and he looks into the fog, and you guys would see these 3 droids come out of the fog, sleek looking. They're definitely old tech. They're kind of too nice to be new, if you know what I mean. They have a very humanoid shape, not nearly as clunky as even a HK droid would be. And not seeing you in the fog, one of them will run up to this apparent HK droid. And the HK droid says, question, are you here to speak with Vakka? And one of these droids says, negative, we're here to liberate you.
Get on the phone. Guys, they're here. Comlink, sorry.
Clarification, liberate? We have heard reports of a HK model battle droid in this facility. Can you confirm?
Technically, there have been reports.
Clarification, I am the HK droid. And one of the droids does something weird. He lifts his hand and he scratches the back of his head.
Guys, are you seeing this?
Once Jaster gets the call, he'll start making his way over there double time.
Something. Right there. I'll be right there. I get up and run there as fast as I can.
Yeah, Tef will follow after Gabu.
So we found him. Now what? Trail him? Shoot him?
I can imagine you guys huddle behind a crate in the fog, just what?
Tef will say over his comlink, "Oh, disable them. I will place on them a restraining bolt."
Don't we want to know where they're going?
Well, if you shoot him and take him down, we can ask him.
Interrogate a droid seems logical.
Well,
Yeah, it is called computer science.
Very well then. And I start running forward with my coral Mon Calamari pike in hand.
What about my fail and threats on the perception there? Maybe I see. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe I see a droid, call it out, but I blow the other group's cover because I saw the wrong droid, and I'm like, "Hey, I got this fucker!" or something.
Yes, that's good. So yeah, there's. It looks like there's 3 of these in total. One of them is talking to, I guess, who is now HK 3PO, and the other 2 have fanned out to either side. They have a very slick way of moving, and you would see one and you're like, I got him over here, and he just blaster points in your direction.
Oh crap. How far away do you think they would be from whatever position I would be at seeing these guys? Range band wise?
I'd say if they haven't noticed you, then you have to be long.
Oh, okay. So I'd pretty much be spending this whole time getting into a range where I can work. Because my gun's only medium range. On the plus side, it does stun at medium, because it's a wacky boy.
The droid says, are there any other brethren here to be liberated? I feel that we should try. Answer, I am the only droid here. And they just kind of stand there tensely, and he says, "Very good. Come with us." And HK kind of looks around, doesn't see anybody, and starts to follow.
So the plan was to take him down and interrogate, right?
Yes, sir. Take him down.
Confirmation.
No,
All
Gabo
right.
is definitely using his maneuver to run and his action to run to get
All right.
close the gap from wherever I am.
I-
You can make that as far away as you want, Lloyd.
Yep. Let's
I'll-
go into initiative. I think you guys can do cool, obviously, because you're ready.
Cool. Yep.
Hell yeah.
Oh, stop there! Don't go any further, you stupid droid! Stop where you are!
Let's see. And the great thing about being a Zexto is I can do 2 maneuvers without having to spend all that strain.
Maybe I'll throw out on the initiative, but I'll spend the first action just making distance over to wherever the group is right now.
So, Lloyd, this is range bands, eh? So just tell me where I am coming out of this random restaurant, how far away this droid apprehension is going on.
So I would
Say
imagine that
it's-
you guys were close to like the blast door that leads, or the airlock that leads into the place. Like you would have been close to there because you want to go in and out relatively frequently, since it's unpleasant out here for you guys. And I would say that HK
Medium?
is.
medium or long? One of those two.
What are the length? Like
It's very broad, I would say.
Yeah,
Extreme is like miles.
super long.
Okay.
Extreme
So I
and
would
then
say
long and then medium.
I would say either medium or long would be viable in this take. Whatever you want to
I'm
go
thinking like maybe 60 feet or something like that. So I don't know. That's medium maybe.
with. That would
Yeah.
be medium.
Because I think long, if you like scream at the top of your voice, they're supposed to be barely able to hear
Able to
you.
hear.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're definitely medium.
So that's at range with like a fucking sniper rifle or something.
Right. Okay.
The extremes even beyond that. So okay, that's cool. So we're at medium. So me coming out of this restaurant where I was eating my bowl of rice soup,
Oh, don't go any further! Stop there!
and I have like pistols and shit, but I want to use my Mon Calamari. It's like a vibro stick thing, but it's not even. It's a big piece of coral stuck on a rod, basically. It's like not even that much of a viable weapon, but it was given to me by my grandfather, so it means a lot. So I'm going to close the gap. So I'm going to use my maneuver to move from medium to short, and then I'll use 2 strain to get another maneuver to move to engaged, and then I'll do an action which is to attack. That's what I'm going to do on my turn, but I'll roll my initiative. I'm just letting you know that it will work. And cool.
I'm still a bit confused by how the initiative actually works. It's like you add up successes, right?
That's right.
Your successes determine the order, and then your advantages are your tiebreakers.
Okay, I gotcha.
So
So disregard the fact that I wrote 2 purple. So I only have an advantage. So for me, on the PC side, I'm pretty far down the totem pole of initiative order.
Well, initiative is like a group resource
Yes.
in this game, so
I quite understand that, yeah.
Yeah.
My contribution is not very good.
All right, so this one guy, the red droid, he gets a triumph, which I guess means he's going to go first, right? That's like a good thing.
It's an extra success. So you're sitting at 3 success
Okay.
and 2 advantage.
Excellent. Okay. So then Abraxas.
And I'll be using my whole first action just to shout into the comms, like, hey, what's going on? Getting their heads up and whatnot as I'm trying to actually get to the situation because I was following the wrong droid like a doofus.
Tuff will just respond, "Droid liberation."
So you rolled 2 for the NPCs, did you?
Yeah,
Lloyd?
one is better than the other 2.
All right, so you're looking at NPC, PC, PC, NPC, PC. That's the order of
Cool.
operations.
Yeah, that's what I have as well. Sweet.
Groovy.
Excellent. Okay, so the droid who was talking to HK, he is painted red, and he looks around him now, scanning the area, and he says, "Organics, do not interfere. This droid is to be liberated." And that's all he does. He lifts his blaster, but he doesn't fire. And then PC.
Since someone else was going to charge, would it wanted to kind of like charge initially? Would it be all right if I shot before, as they were charging, so I didn't, hurt them?
Sounds good.
Of course. Go ahead. Do it.
Yeah, and might have been one of the first ones to see it. So I'm going to use both of my maneuvers to aim, and don't have to take strain for that because I'm a weird space creature. And then I will roll.
So
my gunnery.
I'm going to do this. So it's going to be... Oh, that didn't work.
Oh, you flipped over a destiny point? Okay.
Yeah. So it'll be 2 reds to hit this guy, unfortunately, because I flipped that.
2 reds?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it
2
didn't
reds
flip in the thing at the top, but I'm sure I figured it out.
I can't...
showing that you did it.
do you guys see my roll? Because
No,
I
I'm
don't
not
see my
seeing your
roll.
No.
Okay. Then I'll just roll again, and we'll...
I don't think you used.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
There we go.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That'll
Okay.
just do it.
Holy
Right.
shit.
Well, oh crap. And technically, he was engaged with an ally, which was my, which was the HK droid. So I should probably add a purple for that increase in upgrade. So 1 less thing, and I'm doing math now.
Yeah.
8 damage, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage. And with the advantage, I think I'd like to activate knockdown. I would like to knock down the droid that I was shooting at. So he falls to his ass.
So you see this whirl of limbs just pop up out of cover and just ridiculous shot, catches the droid right in the left leg, and he just goes tumbling down to the ground.
Oh, this is a weird little gun. It's a repulsor rifle that uses gunnery as a skill. So I almost imagine kind of like the crap. What are they called? The photon packs from Ghostbusters, but only the shooting part. And instead of the bright blazes of that, you get kind of like your weird distortions in the air. It's all stun damage, so
Okay.
Just to kind of lay how that might look.
Sweet. Awesome. Okay. Who goes next?
Are you guys okay with me giving an order to the HK droid? Because I think I can subdue it if you guys are cool with it. What I'll do then, because I'm not going to cause any damage to the other droids, I'm going to yell at the HK droid with speaks binary. So I'm going to give him a command as using the leadership skill.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say, primary target disabled, don't exterminate, and I'm going to point at the droid that's now laying on the ground.
Okay.
And now it's the other droid's turn.
It should, though. Do you want me to do an actual roll for it, or?
Yeah. I mean, did you say leadership? I mean, that seems smart.
Yeah, and since I speak binary, I get 2 boost dice whenever I give orders to an NPC droid.
Okay.
And since I programmed him with his HK functions, can I have an additional boost?
Sure. I think difficulty will be 3 because his primary directive is to kill. But I think you should be all right with the 10,000 boosts you have.
Okay. And bam.
Yep, he's doing it.
Oh yeah.
What do you want the drive to be?
I want him to take disable to the fullest extent. I want him to go for the other droid's power supply.
Okay.
While he's got him on the ground.
Right, rather than disable him by removing a leg or something.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah, because that's what he was thinking. Okay, that sounds great. Okay, so the droid on the right-hand side sees you like screaming into your comm, Abraxas, and points the blaster. He hears the blaster shot go off, and you see him like, oh, this is not how it was supposed to go. This is supposed to be a simple job. And then he is going to fire at you.
I like it. Yeah, whip around the corner. Just like whatever the hydroponic grown like sludge that I've been eating. This vegetarian slosh just falls down as somebody opens fire on old Abrax.
He fluidly pulls up the blaster and let's see.
I got 0 defense, but I got a little bit of soak there.
So it's a big load of nothing. I think. Let's see. Maybe the advantage is that it's so foggy that it doesn't give his position away. He just slaps into the thing, the crate or whatever next to you, but doesn't connect.
I imagine he shot at me because like I'm a huge target that needs to be shot quick. But I don't know. I figure I'm so far away, still coming around the corner. It'll be another action before I'm even in the fray. But I'm going out full bore.
Sounds good.
You can go now, or I will continue my run out into the fray as I was planning to do earlier.
Well, I wasn't even on the scene to begin with. Like I think it's cool that I got there to be shot at nonetheless. So, yeah.
All right, so I see this laser
coming in on the fringe. Sorry.
I see this laser fire illuminate the mist that is floating about the Gombo Goombi as he starts sprinting through this clearing out to this area where these 2 droids are trying to confiscate our HK droid. I see the one on the ground that was just hit by Thomas's character. Sorry, I forgot his name. From the repulsor shot. So he's prone. I don't understand what Tef is saying in his fucking language to this other droid. So do not arm this droid. It means nothing to me because I didn't understand it. So I leap forward as I close the gap using my 2 maneuvers to do so, and I'm going to do a melee engaged attack onto the prone target. So I'm going to get a boost for him being prone. Difficulty is going to be 2. I am got a standard melee combat of 2 green, 1 yellow. I am going to use a boost die to increase one of those to a 2nd yellow. Did you want to increase, Lloyd? Turn one of the purples into a red?
I will. Let's get this roll interesting.
Alright, there's despair and triumphs in play here.
Oh wait, sorry, this is the red guy, so he actually has a red already, so it'll be 2 reds instead of a purple and a red.
Oh, is that right? But you did want to upgrade still?
Yeah, I still want to.
Okay, so it's only 1 boost for him being prone, is that correct? From people that might be in the know more than I?
Yeah.
For a melee attack?
I recall.
Against prone, yep, 1 boost.
Alright, so this is what we're sitting at.
You're not getting away.
I got 1 threat. As I lunge forward with my coral staff and slam down to this prone droid, missing him badly. What do I get for my 1 threat, Lloyd?
I'm considering having you hit the HK droid.
That would be more of a...
I think maybe that might be more of a despair. It's a bit
at
heavy,
least
isn't it?
definitely a heavy for 1 threat. I'm not
Well,
telling you.
unless it doesn't really do any damage.
I'm not telling you how to run your game, but that
I think
would be
maybe
asshole waste for 1 threat.
maybe he is confused by the situation. He was told to disable, and now you're trying to attack, and now he's seeing you as a deterrent to his primary objective.
There you go. That's cool. I like that.
Alrighty. Okay. Oh, he was actually supposed to go there before you, but okay, I'll have him go now. He sees you, and he says, "Declaration: do not interfere." And then he is going to try and shoot you.
Nice. Love it.
Now, I guess there's like a setback for shooting up real close.
What type of weapon does he have?
Difficulty.
He's got, I don't know, a generic old blaster.
Is it a heavy?
Yeah, range heavy.
It's an increase of 2 difficulty then.
Because we're
Okay.
engaged. Unless he has a talent that super.
Nah, I mean he's not actually a HK droid. He's actually a protocol droid, isn't he? You didn't actually give him any. Yeah, he's gonna suck at this.
So the difficulty is
4.
going to be what 1 for the standard shot, and then he's going to have 2 setback.
Oh, it's 2 setback, not the difficulty increases.
It's a difficulty
Oh, what is it?
increase.
Okay, yeah. So it's
Sorry.
Now, if you have armor, that'll throw on some setback.
I do have melee only defense, so this is not a melee attack. So sorry, 3
Yeah.
purple. My apologies.
all right. I reckon a 3PO droid has 1 agility. All right.
Oh, that poor bastard.
So he thinks he's an assassin droid, and he turns and points this blaster at you, certain that he's going to eliminate you immediately.
What are you doing? What did that Nemoidian do to you?
Declaration: you are interfering with my primary objective. And then and the blaster overheats and will destroy his hand.
Tef will say as he's observing this, "Oh, very good, droid. You learn quick."
Yeah, the blaster just melts his hand. Okay, so one of you guys is next?
Have the 2 assistant droids gone yet?
Yes, they went already.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to close into short range, and well, actually, no. I'm just going to draw my pistols and shoot at one of the assistant droids.
Alrighty.
Regular setting. So, 2 strain. Trauma weapons. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3. Is it just 2 difficulty at medium range?
Yep.
Okay. Wow. So that's definitely going to activate the second pistol.
Holy moly.
So that's going to be 12. 13, 14 points of damage total.
Jesus. Murder hobo. How much? 14?
Yeah. Yep, 14. Jaster comes running up as things are kicking off, as the robot and Gabu are engaged with the red robot. His palms shoot down, curling around the butts of his pistols as he draws them in a flash and unloads 2 shots at one of the other droids.
Yeah, they both are shockingly accurate. One goes right through the neck of the droid, the other one through like the hip where the spine is, and just turns this thing into 3 parts, and it falls, clatters to the ground. And amazingly, one of the other droids says, "No! Purple!"
Drop your weapons, as the rest of you will be joining them. Then I'll be the end of my turn.
Nice. Okay, and who hasn't gone?
I think everyone has.
Everyone has. Okay, strange.
We
This is my
have
first
4
actual
players do things.
combat in this, so I apologize for any slip-ups. Okay, so it's back to the top at this stage, and the red droid who's on the ground, he says, "We surrender."
Well, I probably don't hear that so well, but someone else does.
HK
Yeah,
hears it.
I was just thinking, there's a practice here because he has some distance to close.
I'm right there, but
yeah,
are they
you would
speaking
hear it.
binary or just speaking just normal common?
No, he just speaks it. Yeah, in I guess Galactic Standard or
Okay.
Basic, I guess. Right? Yeah. He says we surrender.
Tough will come over the comm and say, "Hold your guns on them. I will start applying the restraining bolt."
Understood. And I'll come out of cover, but like practically behind my shield and just waiting for them to screw me over. 'Cause this isn't my thing.
And Abraxas will drop the rush, and he'll just approach us more just lackadaisically, but he'll be brushing the food off of his chest that he just spilled all over himself when he heard the call to arms.
The blue
Jaster.
droid. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, I was gonna say Jaster will keep moving forward. He'll swivel one pistol to one droid and then one to the other as he moves closer, keeping him in his sights.
And Gabu's already standing there beside them, so he's standing there with his the butt end of his staff thing into the ground, standing all sentry-like, proud of his accomplishments, which was nil, but he looked quite accomplished anyway.
That's right. You better stand down if you know what's good for you. Tef, come over here. They're ready for you now. I'll see you go to work. Maybe you could bang this one with a rock.
Yeah, Tough will come over with his little toolkit in his left hand and a hydro spanner in his right hand. And I'll start with the most dangerous looking droid first and start applying bolts. I've got 3 of them.
Yeah, it's definitely the red one. He was in charge. The blue one comes out of the mist with his blaster held high, his hands up in the air. And he says, "We don't want no trouble."
And Abraxas takes an odd pleasure in watching every bit of the restraining bolts being emplaced on these droids.
The red droid says, "I will not serve. I have been liberated."
Oh, no service required. And I'll keep applying the bolts.
What do they do?
So once the bolts are on, I can basically disable the droids, and they can try to make a discipline check against difficulty 4 to overcome the frequency of the bolt.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, he doesn't resist. He's just saying to you, "We have come here to liberate the droids. It is not right that they serve."
And as the bolt is being screwed down, Abraxas keeps making the small violin sign as the bolt is being
Huh.
Yeah.
You have killed our
These are some
friend.
weird droids. What? Killed? I thought he was... What, you guys... Oh, yeah, they did blast a droid. Not my fault. I'm sorry.
No,
Wait,
I
why am
will
I
put him back
apologizing for it?
together.
You have killed him. He was our friend.
No.
You can put him back together. It's easy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, granted, I thought we weren't supposed to shoot him like that, but, you know, we got our job
No, we
done.
only need one of them.
You cannot kill what is not alive. Don't talk silliness now, or I will wipe you
You know-
where you are.
You
Hold on,
organic.
Gabu.
These
I don't know.
inorganics are talking gibberish here. Talk about being free and talk about dead. There's no such thing as dead.
No, damn it, Gabu. Hold your tongue. Wait until I have both on before you speak such blasphemy.
No, they don't fear me at all. Stupid
I'm-
droids.
I'm getting nervous, the wrench is getting slippery in my hand as I'm getting, the second bolt on. I'm thinking if he doesn't shut the hell up, that droid's going to change his mind.
Abraxas
He says,
sucking.
fish. Sorry, go ahead.
Abraxas is sucking the flavor out of the russets between his teeth and the gums as he's just hoping the droid does take to arms.
He says, "Fish creature."
Fish creature! How dare you call me fish creature, you stupid robot, you!
We have feelings. We have memories. Is that not life?
Feelings that someone gave you! It's all protocols and computer chips, you foolish droid! This one here, he put himself in position to capture you! You think he cares about you and your feelings? Seriously now.
Not yet. He hasn't been liberated.
Liberated. Put the bolt on him, Tef. We'll get to the meaning of this.
How much of
will
a crowd are we gathering at this point? I'm very curious.
The people inside, some of them have come out. They're kind of looking, just like hanging out at the doorway, and they're kind of listening and looking, but no one's gathered necessarily. They heard the blaster fire and came out.
Should we take these guys to the the suite and start talking, or you doing your magic thing with the computer, the data pads? I don't know how you interrogate droids.
Yeah. I will finish
Except how in
this.
the movie.
Do it quickly. And I'll go over to the other droid with the bolt shaking in my hand and touch it to his chest and start cranking the hydrospanner as I look up at him.
He looks down at you and he says, "It was not our intent to harm organics."
Oh yeah. Don't worry. I be in control for a short duration and I take care of you. I respect machine intelligence.
You do not respect machine life.
I don't know. That is and I'll stop screwing it on and scratch the back of my head. Bit tricky philosophical conversation.
We came here, we had no intention of harming anyone, and yet without a thought, you killed our friend.
I did not kill anybody.
In my experience, those not looking to hurt people aren't carrying blasters and pointing them around. You start doing that, you expect it to be returned upon you.
We did not fire until you attacked.
Well, I guess that was your mistake, huh? And I'll nod towards Abraxas and start gathering up Mr. Jigsaw there. We need to take that back with us too. Pointing to the droids.
Abraxas will he'll tighten his utility belt to the point where it's protecting his inner abdominal lining from hernial abrasions, and he's going to try and hoist this droid right up over his shoulder and bring it on in. The one that's already been bolted, of course.
Okay, does Tuff have the bolt applied to the third one at this point?
Yeah, well, one of them is disabled. His legs are down in pieces, so you need to do the two of them, right?
I'll put the third one on him just in case I repair him, so I have that fail safe.
Okay.
But yeah, if I got the two bolts on the one standing, then I'll slowly back away and pull out my dinky little remote, and I'll turn a couple of dials on it and program them to follow me, because you can issue basic programs with the bolt too.
Okay.
It says, yeah, once you fix the droids, bolts can override the programming. The simplest setting shuts them down, but restraining bolts can also force droids to perform any action they are commanded to do by the person holding the restraining bolt controller. So I will say, "Oh, I keep my word to you. Oh, follow me now. Come on."
Once he has the bolts in place, I will collect their weapons after I holster mine.
Yeah, they give them up without issue.
And the one that called me fish face, I gotta probe him along with the butt end of my staff.
Come on, carry on now. Speed, faster, faster.
So with the boat, they can make a discipline. Is that right? To try and resist.
Yes, sir. 4 purple difficulty per droid.
Okay.
Oh, that's the same for binders. Cool. It's now I know both mechanics.
Yeah, it's like a droid binder.
Like a mental binder. Yeah. I mean, I guess you can get binders on droids, so it's like a mental binder, kinda.
I wasn't thinking of that. That was one of the, Braxis has 3 binders on him in his backpack now. It's the only thing he bought since his last mission. It's for pleasure. Right. It's for pleasure, of course.
Red is going to do as you say, and he's got 3 threat. What do you guys think? You get it there, Troy.
Perhaps the restraining bolt's working fairly well, so recovering memories or getting him to voluntarily tell us what's up might give us a boost to those rolls, or set back to his rolls to resist.
Yeah, I would say he's just working really hard against the mental block that's in place with the binder, so he's causing himself a lot of strain. And he probably doesn't have any strain threshold, so it probably just wounds, so he's actually causing him physical harm trying to work against the circuitry. That's what I would say in that situation. He would like cause himself 3 wounds.
Yeah, that sounds good. So you can see him like you can almost hear gears and stuff whirring as he stands there trying to walk under his own power. Like he was going to come with you, he just didn't want to be forced to. But nonetheless, his legs move against his will.
As I see him kind of resisting, I slap my hand to leather, draw my pistol in a blur, and point it to the other droid. Keep it up, and this one goes with the other one.
You're gonna try it. Nope.
Tough
Yeah.
will shake his head, say, "I am so sorry about this. I swear we are good people."
You are forcing us to act in a way we do not want to act.
You carry on now, if you know what's good for you.
And the threat for them could easily be Raxus drawing his sledgehammer.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good motivator. And they don't resist the rest of the way in. There's kind of looks of shock. People draw blasters as the droids. Clearly battle droids like walk into the cantina, but obviously they're not going to do anything. And you can march them into your private room.
Yeah. Once we get them in there, I'm going to have the 2 like walk over to the furthest corner, so they're as far away from like a window or a door as possible. And then, or I guess 1, because 1's disabled. And then Red, I'm gonna have go over to a bed or a table or a chair and sit down. And I'll take out my computer software and begin slicing into him.
Okay, right. I actually have these rules somewhere. So this is like a slicing. I read this today. It's fucking sweet.
Yeah, the slicing encounters.
Yeah.
It's from Special
Modifications.
Modifications.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rocks. It's really cool.
Only the best splat book in the line so far.
Oh, he's delayed. So Gabu is just completely like in a state of relaxed, non-combatant mentality at this point. I'm sitting back in the corner with my rolls of fat all up engulfed on myself, and I'm sitting into this like bucket seat, watching Tef do its work.
Tuff will say too as he like turns the dial like even further on the little remote and puts it in his utility belt. He'll say, "Now, be good droid and put down all firewall."
Could we not simply converse?
I'll raise an eyebrow. Well, at least what an Avoidian has for one. I'll say, "Oh, you would volunteer the information that we are looking for?"
That depends upon the information, but I'm willing to speak. I would sooner not have you invade my personal thoughts.
And I like this isn't tough shot really. I'm gonna turn to the party and like kind of shrug.
Jaster will give a shrug back and then nod, figuring it's worth a try.
Just take what you want, Tef. And we'll be done with this.
Oh, you're right. Okay. And I'll turn the dial really far and say, "Put down the firewall."
Okay, so he's not going to do that. So what happens first? Access, right?
I think with the restraining bolt, he has to obey basic commands.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And
But
what kind of droid is this? Is this a military droid?
Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, Tess, you'd consider a specialist in Clone War. These are commando droids.
oh, okay. Yeah. So I don't know how you want because I don't think it should like violate the whole check or whatever, but maybe work it into it as like a boost dice or something into the actual check. That like I have the bolt on him already.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I think it's more than that actually because you have 2 on red, don't you?
I have. Oh, do I? I think I do. Or yeah, I think I do. I have 2 on him.
I think you have 2 on red and 1 on the blue guy.
No,
Yeah,
I
so
think you put one on the one that was like disassembled and destroyed, right? So you can control them later. So you have one on each.
because there's only two droids, right?
There's
Oh,
two who are active, and there was a third
And
one who
then
got
yeah,
blasted.
the third so it's one on each of them. I have
Okay.
one on red.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, what's the difficulty of my first check?
I mean, this guy isn't computer whiz. I mean, he's a droid, but he's not like made to resist this kind of attack. I'd say 3,
Okay.
and
So
I think 2 boosts for the thing in place.
awesome. And do I get a boost too for my slicing equipment?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is pretty important. If it's okay with you guys, I want to use a destiny point too.
Make it rain.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay. So upgrade that pool.
Back in Jack when I was studying interspecies relationship with droids, they told me to do this and this approach.
I'm gonna use my education if I can to give you some insight on how to manipulate droids, but you're doing it completely through slicing and not through like talking with this thing. So I'm gonna say if anything, it's actually a setback because I'm actually
If anything, it's a setback. Yeah, this guy knows way more than you'll ever know.
Dude, let's go with it. Like I get
Yeah.
sidetracked by the Mon Calamari. Like he actually distracts me.
When you're talking to droids, you gotta approach it this one.
Oh,
Yeah, that's great.
is that the case? Do you want to upgrade the difficulty, Lloyd?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. So my
This would
total
be-
pool, it's 1 green, 3 yellow, 3 boost, 2 purple, 1 red, 1 black.
Yep.
Okay. Fire away. Oh my god, that's close.
That's very close.
So yeah, I'm like imagine like the old movie Hackers. Like I'm seeing this through my beady little Nemoidian red eyes as like I'm flying through pylons of data and information, and I see like a locked portion in the back of it, and I just come up to it and cut right through it into like this restricted data bin. I start accessing like astronavigation coordinates, like holographic images that it's taken of like where it's basing up, like how many other droids it has. Like I'm just looking for the major treasure trove.
Yeah. Um, All right, so you're definitely in, right? So you would definitely see, weirdly, mixed in with like the informational images that you're looking for, you would see images of like camaraderie, of like this droid and other droids like him sitting around a table as if they're having dinner. Little weird like flashes of that as you're also getting information of like a planet that's covered in ice, a crashed Clone Wars era ship, a kind of droid you probably haven't ever seen before. Actually, you could give me like a knowledge. Is there one specifically for this kind of stuff? Maybe education or lore, even?
Oh, it sounds like a special fancy dancy skill that nobody has.
All right, what difficulty do you want for it, Lloyd?
Let's go for 3.
Okay. 4 greens, 3 purple.
Okay.
Bam.
Yeah, you are a specialist in the Clone Wars. It's a super tactical droid.
What the... Like my lower lip just quivers.
Yeah, and you can see that like there's a community of droids of all kinds, like have set up some sort of life on this ice planet. The crashed ship is like their house. There's like different levels, and the super tactical droid, spends hours every night talking to them. They all converse a lot, and just like flashes of Les Mis style imagery, right? Droids like lifting flags into the air and stuff like that.
So imagine like this Nemoidian like weathered face with his like little bishop hat, and he's like looking down at his data pad, and he hasn't moved for like 5 minutes. And as I'm looking at all these images of like droids caring for each other and like droids forming a community and all these signs of sentience that I just can't ignore because I'm like a scientist. like a little tear starts to well up in the corner of my Nemoidian eye. And the camera goes down to the pad, and my quivering finger goes down and erases all the information, so there's no trace of it.
Oh my god.
And I bite my lower lip a little bit,
Oh my god.
and I say, "Oh, I have found the location of the droids. It is," and I'll look down in like shame, not wanting to meet anybody's gaze. "Horrible. They're incredibly violent."
I think that's the most evil thing I've ever seen anyone do in a game.
And like, I am like squeezing my left hand so tight in like shame of what I'm gonna do for this petty money that like a little drop of blood like runs and catches on my thumb and then falls to the ground.
Nice.
And although Abraxas witnesses this whole thing while shoveling food down his gullet, he does not slow in any pace or candor at all. He continues to eat and watches the droid's life is tossed to the ether.
As you put the command in, the droid begins to realize, and he looks at you and he says, "Please, no."
And I'll like get really close to him and I'll say very quietly, "If the situation were different, maybe, but my family is so poor. I need the money. I saw." And I push the button really hard.
This is murder. And then, Commando droid, ready to serve.
And I'll take up my bishop sleeve and like wipe my eye and say, and I'll look up at the ceiling. "Have the coordinates. We should go now."
Blue, standing on the other side of the room. Red? Red. Red. Red, answer me. Red, are you there? And you can see he's like getting visibly upset. God, this is so tragic. Fuck me.
Yeah, I just like look down in shame and I go, I just pick up the remote in my hand and I say, "Deactivate," and I'll shut the other droid down.
Red. Red. Ooh.
You did well, Jeff. You got what we needed, yes.
I'll snap wake and say, "Coordinates? Did someone say we have them? Can we get off of this rock now?"
Tuff will get like a really dark stoic look on his face. He'll say, "Yeah, 1034 XY," and start like reading off the coordinates to the base.
So it's in wild space. It's way out. Way out. It looks difficult to get to. A couple of dangerous jumps. You've seen the route that they've taken, but nonetheless, it's still going to be tricky.
Oh boy, it's going to be a long trip. You should probably bring different types of foods, or else you'll... Go ahead, sorry.
Maybe we should renegotiate. The credit allotment seems quite low for the task at hand, don't you think?
Yes, indeed. At the very least, we can kick these off to our good benefactor and have some spending money. I would advise you use it to get different types of food, because a trip this long, if you are just on rations, can make people go insane. It's not a pretty sight.
I think that's a mute point for most of us here.
Yes, of course.
And he'll have Abraxas when he says that.
Crazy for a while, too. It's all perspective, isn't it?
Well, there's crazy, and then there's, throw your friend out the airlock's crazy. I don't like the last one.
And as a surplus amount of food falls down over Abraxas's chest while he's shoveling it down his gullet, he says, "We're going to run out of food?"
No. Just make sure you have different types. The same thing every day. It'll make you go crazy. But let's see how much Vakka will give us for these things, and then see if we can renegotiate, huh?
That sounds pleasant enough. I like eating a little bit of everything.
I don't know. We may need one of them to help us make sure we get there and lead us where we need to go once we do.
That's not a bad idea. Let's see here. Not a bad idea at all. And we can always sell them back to him at a later time. Yep.
So,
So I guess
since
I walk out.
Red's all cleared out, we'll just sell him Mr. Blue and take Red with us, I guess.
Or I guess you can sell the one that's rebooted and then wipe the other one while we're on board to save time.
Yeah, Tough would say, we definitely want to scrub the droids before we turn them over.
Yeah. Get it to factory settings. It's the professional way to do things.
Well, my
And-
job is to shoot stuff. Your job's to deal with droids, so I'll leave it in your hands.
Yeah, I'll kind of bow a bit to it. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's mundane for you to do that with the amount of control you have of the droids now. You can wipe them clean, and yeah, they're factory setting commando droids from the Clone Wars.
Yeah, would the blue droid have similar like experiences to what the red droid had?
Yeah.
I will grab a few snippets and transfer it to my data pad before I wipe him, like a cultural artifact for my museum.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, just like weird scenes of camaraderie from droids. Now, if these guys from the Clone Wars, it's got to be, what, like 25 years since they had a memory wipe or something like that, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can wipe them clean, you can take that little bit of data, and I guess you can march them into Vakka if you so wish.
Well, I think I'm going to try to see if I can, if we can wrangle ourselves some more recent galaxy maps for the areas we're going to be jumping, because that's a bit of a haul.
You would reckon the best information that you're going to get is from the droids who had gone on the route. There's not going to be anything more
Okay. Yeah,
specific
you're right.
than that.
So,
Since it's wild space, it's undocumented.
yeah. So, yeah, I guess once the tech, yeah. I'm sorry.
I said that would probably give us a boost to astrogation checks if we were going to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, Tough is pretty knowledgeable about astrogation too. He's got a pretty decent astrogation.
Cool.
Yeah, I will get the droid all set up though, so it should be good on that end.
Yeah. No, it's no problem for you to do that. You have total control over it at this stage.
Yeah, you've already murdered it, so it's all downhill from there.
Worse than murdered it.
Yeah.
Took something from it that very few droids achieve.
Yeah.
The dark machinations of Tough will not be forgotten.
Well, it's all in the greater good. Oh, keep
Credits in our pocket.
Yep, and save the galaxy from a droid revolution again. I mean, geez, who wants another galactic civil war, right? With a separatist movement, yeah. Who wants another Clone Wars?
Yes. Who wants another Clone Wars?
I look at Tiff and I spit with my little amphibious fish face.
He'll smile at you and say, "That reminded me. Where did your grandpa fight in war?"
No, he fought on the planet's surface against a treacherous Quarren, of course, just like every Mon Calamari of his age.
Oh, so he fought against indigenous people.
Indigenous people brought you insight from people from the Trade Federation, your people.
they were elected official.
What? What did you say to me? I don't
I
understand.
say the Koran elected official. You elect them.
You incited them, you outsiting scumbag. You and your people, no trade federation. We had a peaceful coexistence, and then no, you had to come in there and interfere.
No.
Quietly walk out. And
I
mumble
can
something
imagine. I
about.
can imagine as long as this trip takes to go to like the outer regions, me and Tepper have this like political debate.
Yeah, make sure to arrange that they share quarters.
Yeah. Vakka would say, is this real? 3 Clone Wars commando droids? And he rubs his hands. I can see about acquiring a buyer.
And the like big one I saw, that was what was that called again? In the like video footage?
It was a super tactical droid.
Super tactical droid. Yeah, I would, whoever does the negotiation with Baka, I definitely tell you that's like a selling point. Like, let Baka know that there's one of these super tactical droids on the horizon.
Yeah, his eyes would widen. He says, "Do you have any idea what those would be worth? They have an intelligence unmatched by any droid made today." Oh, and he's just like dollar signs for eyes, just losing it.
And given this bit of information and what we're going to be running into to retrieve this droid, I think we might need to renegotiate our fee.
I'll tell you what. Tuktari is going to pay you 2,500 credits for the retrieval of his droids. If you can bring me these more advanced droids, and we don't tell Tuktari anything about it, and if I manage to sell them, we could go 70-30.
Mm, 70 for us, of course, for putting in all the work, and 30 for you for selling them, yes? Mm.
I had it the other way around. It's going to be very difficult to sell such restricted goods.
Huh. So it might be too tough for you. I guess maybe we might need to look out one of our other contacts and see about negotiating this business for us then.
60-40.
What do you say, Taft? Don't you have connections in the drone manufacturing business? Maybe we can get a better deal from them, yes?
Tef will slowly nod his head and say, "How about this? I sell the droids, and we pay you a finder fee."
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
His eyes narrow. 60-40 in your favor. You're killing me here. I have children to feed.
I'll look at Gabu and like shake my head like that seem to be gracious.
I killed little about droids, so 60-40 sounds good to me.
Yeah, we're not in the business of starving children, so I guess, of course, he believes that as much as he believes every simple job that they get. So, you know, everybody's got kids all of a sudden. When
Exactly, yeah.
He's even used that a couple of times.
Yep.
Agreed on my part. I'm okay with the deal as is.
Good. Yes, we'll all be stinking rich.
And so what about for how much for the ones we got now?
I need to find some buyers, try and see what these things are worth. I'm not even sure. I think somewhere in the range of an assassin droid, perhaps.
Well, you just make sure you keep Tef informed. Don't think that you can pull one over on him when it comes to droids.
Oh,
I'll
yes,
be
I
as
know.
smart as facing me down on the street with my guns.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. You can trust Big Vakka.
Tough will look at him and say, "Random trivia, but it was my grandpa's brother who designed the droid." And I point at him and say, "Perhaps you hear of Techno Union? Hmm?
I've heard of him.
My family at one point have controlling stock. Oh,
Well, then, I'm glad you're here.
yeah." So he's like running figures in his head, like how much did these things cost off the assembly line, and he's like looking at depreciation of cost, but then rarity and collection and like its collectible value.
Yeah, at least as much an assassin droid, if not significantly more per droid.
Yeah, so he'll look and he'll say, "Just run the cost by me."
Of course.
Yep, and he'll nod.
Alrighty. Just take a quick break there, guys, yeah?
Yeah, sounds good.
Oh, yeah, sound good. I'll be right
5
back.
minutes.
Sure.
Dude, that was killer. That droid.
Yeah, evil son of a bitch was good. That was good stuff.
Oh man, that was really evil. I kind of feel bad about that. That wasn't like a superficial evil. That was like the most rotten kind of evil.
Yeah. Taking Such a rare life from somebody. Turning
Like
it
I
back
said,
into a weapon.
it seems like I've played this game with Lloyd before.
It's my favorite. What is life?
It's like every second Numenera game.
Yep.
All I
I've
can
just
say is Nemoidians, man. Nemoidians.
I've discovered I'm a droid hater in every Star Wars game I play in. I have like a big hate on for droids.
In my mind, it's like Clone Wars proximity.
Yeah, that's the way I see it too. I think that would be the
Yeah.
norm is to hate droids after the Clone Wars. Lots of people died at the hands of like monstrous machines.
You could argue it wasn't the droid's fault.
No, you could, but
Yeah, some
The
people
norm-
blame the
the norm-
Nemoidians.
Yeah.
I do definitely.
You could easily argue droids aren't living beings too. But
You could.
Most definitely.
logic's on your side too.
It's weird having droids as PC characters in the system as well, I think. For that reason, just because of the era that it's set in. If I was playing the PC droid character, I would expect to be prejudiced and
Oh, yeah. You wouldn't get in lots of places. You'd be like, nah, no droids.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Austin's character in my Merchants of Death game has gotten some pretty rotten treatment.
From you as the GM running the game and from myself as a player playing alongside of him, I totally see him as, merchandise, as a piece of machinery to be owned, not respected.
He'll never roleplay the same again. He's got that stare.
He
I've been raped.
gets that. I don't think we like pile it on him either, though. I think the plan is for my character is to build respect over a period of time and to develop that story arc between the two characters, and I think he gets that.
And me, I just made a world that's hostile to droids, like a post Clone War era world. Plus, it's convenience, right? Like if a guy comes to a conversation, like a business meetup, and you don't want him to have weapons, you disarm him. When a droid shows up, just restraining bolt him.
Yep.
Right.
It's just begging for a droid to get disabled in situations like that.
It's so much easier than just twisting the head off the droid.
All right, we all back? Looks
I
like it.
think so.
Cool.
Oh yeah.
All right, so you guys have left the commando droids with Big Vakka, who is going to try and hunt down a buyer if he can. And your plan is to go to the planet with the droids? Yeah?
That'd be my plan for sure.
Yeah. Check it out. See what we got there.
Did you share with us the vision that you had obtained from the droids that you were slicing into? Like the numbers that were involved or anything like that? Do we know what we're going into here?
Yeah, there's a lot of them, like a metric shit ton of droids. What that brings me to a quick question though before we leave, Lloyd. Restraining bolts are rarity 0. Is it safe for me to assume that I can buy some on the planet?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
You better load up on those. I feel we'll be needing a lot.
Now, didn't you tell them that it's like horrible, it's like murderous?
I did.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I told them that like the droids are like set up and it's just like chaos everywhere, like really aggressive, battle-oriented droids. So like yeah, Tef when he's telling you, he'll be like, they have fortified themselves in such a way. When we strike, we should do maximum damage.
What about the droid we're supposed to recover?
Ion damage. And he'll like point up with his finger and say, if we can
That works
disable,
fine.
we can storm planet surface and take what we need.
Okay. Ion weapons. We can work with that.
Yes, of course. Can we obtain those here? You were shopping earlier.
Wasn't really looking for any of those, but I'm sure someone can find them, or I don't know. So things like that are simple enough, I think, for your crap. The droid's mechanic name is Sokoth might be able to pull some together as well in the time that it'll take us to get there. It's really a question of I don't know. I'm not the expert with this.
What types of weapons does our ship have?
I think it's just got a
Itself?
laser.
Doesn't have any ion based.
I'm just going to check. I don't think so. As dorsal turret mounted twin light laser cannon.
Does the this I would have to, I'm sure, roll some kind of knowledge check or mechanics check for this. Does our ship have anything that emits an ion blast as like a component?
I don't know that. Would a ship have something like that? Maybe one of the engines or something? Hyperdrive engine or something? I'm not sure.
Maybe like a sublight engine or something?
Yeah.
It'd definitely be a jerry-rig type deal. It'd almost be more reliable to buy an ion weapon, or just give ion weapons for your own personal armament.
We could try to get a contract with someone here and get an ion weapon for the ship and pay them after we get the droids. If we can get somebody to take that deal.
The ship that you actually chose to have as the ship for this group is not actually in the core books, is it?
It's in Into the Unknown, it looks like.
Yep, page 64.
So it does not have any ionizing weapons in it?
The base weapon that it has, is what you guys have, is a dorsal turret-mounted twin light laser cannon.
Perhaps we can make arrangements for Vakka, since he's the one that's going to be, I mean, he should have contacts here if it's possible.
5,000 credits. Could be an idea.
We should be prepared if we're going to be fighting these mechanical beasts.
I'm going to go out of my way to try and find just a basic ionizing blaster rifle for myself, just a hand pistol. 250 credits.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how it works. They're already 5. Does that mean the difficulty is 5, or how does that work?
That's pretty standard. That's average.
Okay.
I think.
It's
The rarity. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say that's the base rarity, and then it's
Okay.
modified based on where you're at in the galaxy. So
Right. Okay.
we're in Outer Rim, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you flip to rarity
It's like
here,
6, 7.
yeah. So for Outer Rim, it is +2 to the modifier.
So is that 20% standard?
It's a hard check, I think.
No.
Yeah. So 7 would be hard. Yep.
And what do we roll? Negotiation?
Negotiation, I think, yeah.
Let's prepare ourselves then.
And we could just do it so everyone can have one if they need it, because I don't have any type of ionizing blasters.
Yeah, so you guys could go to one of the settlements here on this little planet. You wouldn't have them in the little cantina here. You have to go to a settlement, find a weapons dealer, try and pick a bunch of iron weapons.
I would need I'd pretty much need a custom weapon for myself if we were going to use the skills I am best at. But a rifle could work by me too.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not going to try and find an ionizing pike.
Gun. Or what was it? So I'm a gunnery style guy, and If we wanted to use the crafting rules, we totally could make something.
I don't think Abraxas is anywhere near ready to evolve from his truncheon. So he'll just be stoically standing on guard.
I mean, stun weapons, work fine, but ion packs a little bit more punch, as I recall.
Is Abraxas the type of dude that's up for some general skullduggery?
Well, it doesn't bother him, but he doesn't actually partake. He's not even much of a cam or an indulgent in many ways. Where he gets his true high is in the melee, the fray of life.
Yeah, same. I'm not even that concerned about ionizing pistol either. As long if we can't get one for a gun for like planetary bombardment that Tef is talking about, I think Gabu Gumbe is good to go.
Well, we might be able to. Here's my idea. If we go back and take one of those 3 droids as part of our payment instead of having them sell them, we might be able to trade them to a dealer here for an ion gun for the ship up front. So, like, push part of our payment forward into the ion gun so we can get the other droids, which are the real paydays.
That's of course. I think your plan is sound. Just find a buyer and make it happen. I'd rather shoot them from the safety of this ship than be out there amongst a bunch of mechanical maniacs thinking they're free. The crazy droids thinking they're free. Shoot them all, destroy them all, I say.
All this talk of ion weapons truly makes me want to see what they can do to a droid. Sounds like the right course of path to me.
All right, well, let's do it.
What say you, Captain? This is your ship after all.
I say it sounds like a good idea. Will definitely increase the payload that we can take, I'm sure. Not that I'm going to shy away from the chance of getting some up close and personal time with these droids, though.
Now, my only question is, does somebody have a vehicle that has one of the ions on it, like the profile for it? Because I'm looking for the stats.
What do you mean?
Because it has like the table, right, at the cost of all the ion weapons, but I'm looking for a vehicle that has the ion weapon stats.
Let's see here, A, B, C, D, F, G, H. Well, the weapons themselves are in like the front of the, like where they have the vehicle modifications.
I actually just found one. Turret-mounted twin light ion cannons. I think that's a good one to trade for a droid.
Yep.
Damage 5 ion cannon for 5k, I think.
Yeah, so this one would be adding a secondary and linking it.
What ship did you get that from? Just for...
It's from the BTL A4. So it's an A-wing.
Well, when upgrading ships, you just like add one from the whatchamacallit.
Yeah, but the
from the
droids, I think the droids are worth like what, quite a bit.
Oh yeah, they're worth tons. Like well over.
So add one and link it.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Okay, I think that's like 75k. I'll take it. Or not 75k, 7.5.
Let's see.
Yeah, the dude thinks he's dreaming. Like the lottery, he's won. Giving an ion cannon for this droid.
Yeah, because assassin droids are like 65k.
Yeah.
So it's like way overkill. We would need. Nah, that's not gonna fucking work. It's too much.
It's way too much, yeah.
Yeah, it's way too much. We'd have to like sell the droid and then pay him. Yeah. I mean, screw it.
Well, maybe we could make arrangements for, to basically get credit with this guy. Get these guns, and if we need repairs or want to add more weapons or whatever, we come to him, and we've got an account with him, maybe.
Like, open up a tab,
Yeah.
like a credit line. Yeah, that could be cool.
Yep, that sounds good to me. Rashi is his name. Yeah, he operates here in one of the major settlements. He's got what you need, and he's really happy to give you guys credit if he can see the collateral is worthwhile. That your money is good.
How much is the turret or the thing in question that we were trying to adorn the ship with?
I think it's 7,500.
Yeah.
Oh hell.
Yeah, and using the character thing, it looks like we can get it retractable, which if we can, I prefer. So we keep the image of kind of a simple freighter, and then we can pull that out when we need to.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. What was the gun called?
Turret-mounted twin light ion cannons.
Okay. Real lady has been upgraded to get some nice ion cannons.
Yeah.
All right, sweet. You get your ship upgraded with these shiny new ion cannons. You ready to go?
Yeah, tough would be for sure.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see here. So you need to start making these jumps. Now you have the some of the memories from the lanes or whatever the coordinates that the droids are taken, which is going to be helpful. But even so, wild space is totally unexplored, so it's going to be tricky no matter what. The first jump, you're going to have to make 3 jumps. The first one is not going to be that difficult. It's going to be 3. And you have a boost.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's going to be 3 purples, and you have a boost for the coordinates and stuff that you've gained.
Let's see, was it the technician? Was it our good Nemoian technician, or was it the doctor that had knowledge in astrogation as well? Someone said they did.
Ships are not my specialty, but I can read, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah. Do you have like a rank in it?
Tough has
Like
has
mechanically?
4 ability, but no skill.
Okay. No one has actual like training in it, so I could get a boost at most from someone.
What is your ranks? Another like talk about the mechanics. I also have 4 intelligence.
I have-
no ranks.
Okay. It's for a trained skill to like combine. You both
Yeah.
have to have at least 1 rank in it. And so
What's your rank?
I have 3 ranks in astrogation and only 2 intelligence. So if someone has any ranks in astrogation and a higher intelligence, we can rock this thing.
Yeah, best case scenario.
Well, I'll definitely grant you a boost.
Yeah, that's the best case scenario. One of us
All
looking
right.
over your shoulder, giving you some insight.
Right. Someone's taking care of the other side of the console. So I guess I'm rolling 2 yellow, a green, and 2 boost, and 3 difficulty. And here we go.
Oh,
Ooh.
baby. So I think it makes sense for the Triumph that you cut the travel time down significantly. You plot an excellent course. You maybe even, rather than do 1 long jump, you find like several small ones that you can do that significantly quicker. And you're able to get there pretty good time. Yeah, it's just barren where you come out, but this is where the droids came out the first time. There's nothing here. You can't even see a star nearby.
Now, Tef during this, like when we come out of the first jump, would indiscreetly walk over to a terminal and start slicing into the ship's computers.
Hmm.
And I want to set up a little program that when we get within range of the planet and we do our scan, it's going to show blips of armaments to make it look like the droids are more dangerous than they actually are.
Nice.
Question: given his squirrely behavior during the robots, and then I guess if he's kind of skulking around the ship, is there a chance that I can notice that he seems to be up to something?
I would say so. Maybe skullduggery versus vigilance or discipline.
What?
Would it-
I am just upgrading the new targeting systems. I know it's not my specialty. I just,
What do you
what
think
else
it
am
should
I going to
be?
do for 3 months?
It should be against.
Deception?
It depends. Like, what's he trying to see? That I'm just accessing a computer? Because that's like that's a
No,
perception thing.
even just more general than that, having to notice that you were acting kind of squirrely with the whole thing with the droid, and then like now not to notice that what your specific activity is, but that perhaps that there's something that you're not telling us.
Yeah, just your
That
body
you're a little
language.
squirrely.
Like you're up to something no good. You're
I'd
looking
say-
like out of your little squirrely, as Dennis says, eyes as you're
I would
punching in inputs.
I would say deception versus something then on my end, because that's what my intent is to deceive.
Yeah. And what do you usually roll? Like, am I thinking that vigilance? Yeah, vigilance. I mean, that makes sense to me.
Vigilance would definitely be it if he's not looking for it. Like if this is something where he tells himself, "Hey, I'm gonna see like what Tuff's up to and follow me around and watch me," then it
No,
would
it'd
be
be more
different.
just like an instinctual thing to have noticed.
Right.
Yeah,
no.
definitely vigilance then.
So for this same situation, I'm going to say, as a doctor that's got history with Nemoidians, that I want to use my knowledge xenology to gauge his body biometrics and see if I can gauge that he's being nervous and or doing things with his body language that's different. What do you think about that? Just using different skills for the same type of thing, which is the beauty of this system. So I want to use xenology knowledge to gauge my watching Tef the Nemoidian to do his thing.
So basically, I just roll straight up diligence, correct?
Yeah.
No, it should be vigilance versus my deception.
Right.
Oh, I thought you
So
would
you
make
roll-
a con.
I would make
I
up
use
the
it as a
opposed.
difficulty.
Yeah, mine would be the difficulty of being opposed.
So what would
Oh,
be?
okay. I thought you both rolled.
That's a contest.
Okay.
Like so it would be 3 purples, which would be like my 3 green in deception.
Okay. He does seem to be squirrely.
Okay, so I'll basically wait to catch him alone, so that I can have a little chat with him.
Yeah. In the meantime, though, I would try to put the program into place.
I think you've been on this ship a lot. You know how it operates, so I don't think it's going to be difficult. I'd say just let's go with 2.
Okay, here we go.
Oh yeah.
Bam. So with the advantages, I'd like to put like a if it's okay with you, obviously, I'd like to put a parameter in there that it cleans my track. Say within how far do I think we are from the base according to the coordinates?
About another week.
I would say then I will program it for like a week plus 1 day to completely override my program and take it out of the system. So there's like no evidence of the blips afterwards So it looks like an anomaly, essentially.
Right. Okay. Yep. That sounds fair.
So yep, I'm over here like, oh, dude, like pushing buttons, like looking up, looking down, looking up, looking down.
Is this where you want to get him, Jester?
I'll say I like walk over back to the area where I've been sitting by myself in the back and like sit down on a crate with my data pad.
So as you're walking back and you walk in, you'll see that I'm sitting down in the crate waiting for you.
I'll jump a little bit skittishly and almost drop the data pad out of my hands, then like grab it tight. Oh, hello there. Just I did not see you there.
I'm sorry, Tef. I didn't mean to startle you. And he grins, showing the edges of his teeth, looking like he might not be exactly telling the truth.
I'll turn my head a little bit to the side. Is there something I could help you with?
I'll get up from the crate. Well, you know, that's exactly what I wanted to talk to you about, my friend. I'm just wondering if there might be something that you're not telling me.
Oh, like a what?
I don't know, back a tick or two when we were dealing with those droids, they seemed to be a little squirrely. I was just curious if there's something more I needed to know of what we're walking into.
He'll blink a couple times and try to fucking lie out of his teeth. He'll be like, the truth of the matter is, these droids were made by my family. All the crime and heinous act that they partake in falls on my name. It is like hunting down ghosts from past. And he'll like look down and walk in a semicircle.
Yeah, here's the thing though. Because I kind of have a rule about when someone points their gun at me, they're going to get it back. But from what I remember, they didn't seem to be very trigger happy.
He'll kind of shrug and say, they are combat droids. They're designed to kill. Flukes occur, of course. These droids program malfunction.
Jasper will smile and nod and reach up and tip his hat and go, all right, but if we get there and there's any surprises I find out that you didn't tell me about, we'll be having another completely different conversation.
He'll turn and like kind of like walk over to the corner and say, oh, I only speak to Captain on level.
I'll grin and give him a friendly clap on the shoulder and head out of the room.
Oh, and like right before you exit, I say, oh, Jester, one more thing. Don't hold anything against Soka family if droids prove to be more of a problem than is expected.
I give a nod and then continue on my way.
And Tuff will start to like whistle a little bit as like a bead of sweat rolls down his cheek, and he picks out the data pad and starts reading.
Nice.
All right. So you guys have made the first jump. I'll need another astrogation check to get to the next. This one will be difficulty 4.
All right.
You'll have a
yeah. Do we want to use the Triumph from before to maybe upgrade this, or
the Triumph from before was used to get you here in half the time.
Sure. I will flip over Destiny point and hopefully have someone help me out here, because now we're just rolling 3 yellows. And 2 boosts, nothing else I can do. I'll just double check real quick.
I'm going to use a point to upgrade one of those purples to a red.
Okay. So good and bad could happen. Gotcha.
So it should be
So
3
here we go,
purples and 1
rolling
red
it.
for me. Sweet.
Success with hella threat.
All right. That's hella threat, all right.
A bucket of threat.
So yeah, you punch the coordinates in, and a couple of days go by as you fling yourself through hyperspeed, and you come out of it, and alarms just start going, and there's like this ridiculous gravitational forces. Like you guys are flung around the inside of the ship unexpectedly. You can see at the front that there's some sort of like collapsed star right in front of you. You've come out. I mean, not right in front of you, but in space terms, right in front of you.
Too close, anyway.
Too close by far, yeah. All over it, there's like alarms going off, fucking systems sparking. I'm going to need a mechanics check and a piloting check to get you the fuck out of there. Both will
What the
be
criff?
3.
All right. Probably
Do we
the
have a
mechanic should do the
mechanic on board?
mechanics thing.
Yeah, Tef will spring into action with his toolbox. What exactly am I repairing?
Just general shit has just like started sparking and stuff. I guess from the sheer like gravitational force involved. Unexpectedly, you've come way too close, and it's just like engines like working way overtime.
Oh shit, yeah. So I tear off a grate and throw it and hang down monkey style with like a welding torch and like a mask on, like trying to divert power from the port side sublight engine so it doesn't tear itself to smithereens.
Perfect.
Yeah. So he's
Just tell me what you need, Tough. I'll pass it along.
I'll say,
he.
oh sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. So I would imagine when he starts rerouting powers, I'm like, no, reroute it over here now. I need, it becomes a huge amount of yelling, and we need
Oh yeah.
between the two of us. No, we need it here now. I need power to the port, and my side goes well, and I think I'd like to pass off a boost to the mechanic. Perhaps I'm able to make a reasonably smooth work, which doesn't smash him against the bulkheads too much as he is while he is in those tight spaces with dangerous things everywhere.
It's just chaos. There's like alarms going off. There's like sparks all over the place, and you're just like trying to wrench the ship out of the fucking way while he's down there trying to fix the engines, and you're like, no, blah, blah, just screaming everywhere. Those who aren't directly involved are probably still just like fucking panicking, like nearly throwing up from G-forces.
Yeah, having been closer to the aft, Jasper will run in there and he'll see Tef hanging upside down, his robes hanging down from his legs, and he'll just shake his head and run up towards the pilot instead. Not in one of that.
You said a setback too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So our failure, but to advantage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's technically just not a. Well, is it a failure? I mean, it's not a success, but
Yeah, you have to have a success in
kind
order
of
to succeed.
Sure.
So
If
something
there's not a success,
I think
it's a failure.
is breaking.
Yeah, I think
Something is breaking.
you're trying, but the forces involved as you're using the engine so powerfully to try and pull yourself away from this thing are like making the ship just like overheat big time. The engines are getting pretty dangerous for you down there. I think.
Could I
Power conduit. The other one.
Could I use a light side point to create like a basically like a slave circuit to like jab in there? So like I'm gonna cut the circuit on both sides and jab it into this other circuit, so it regulates the power a bit better for the actual engine itself.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
Sounds good to me.
Like I have these circuits. These are like circuits I can use on either. I just like pull one out and I'll be like, this is gonna ruin the engine. Just like snap both of them, jab them in there, and say, temporary fix.
Yeah,
That works.
it's a
There
temporary
wasn't
fix.
much of Yeah, sorry.
You're able to the engines kind of calm down, the alarms slow down a little bit, the lights come back to normal. You're able to pull yourself away from this ridiculous gravitational force, and now you're kind of just like listing, floating, and you can see this just enormous, just collapsed star.
Yeah, we didn't have much engines to work with. Now it's even worse. Damage report? Wait, I'm not the captain. What have I got to work with?
Tough will like look at it, and you just hear like a boo, and like the star or the port side engine will just like blow, and like a arc of electricity will come back to the ship and like blow out that little circuit I put in there. And I'll pick up my
Oh,
comm, shaking it, and go, "The good news is we make it away from Star. Bad news is I blow up engine."
so we're down to like one of the three engines now, or two of the three, and have like a speed of one or something,
It
or
probably,
handling's garbage, or
yeah, it probably severely hampers handling.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think
okay.
at least one of the engines is damaged badly if it doesn't work, and I would say one of the others is definitely not working at maximum capacity.
All right. So at least our hyperdrive's up and running.
Yeah, at least there's
Um,
that.
so it'll probably take me a bit to get a bit longer to get to our next jump point. So I guess everyone but me can, have a day or two worth of sleep, and I have to stay here and white knuckle fear.
Tough will what he'll do is try to scavenge parts from the rest of the ship and see if he can MacGyver something together to fix that engine while we're in space.
Okay, that sounds good to me. Let's try a mechanics check. Um, 4 difficulty.
All right. I want to use a Destiny point. Would you like to use one as well?
Yeah, let's do it.
I was gonna say because I might be pulling parts from
Yeah.
places in the ship I shouldn't be pulling parts from. Okay. I fail, but I get 2 advantages again.
um, all right. Uh, any ideas?
What if I shifted the problem? What if I get the engine working, but now I've screwed something else over? Something perhaps more subtle but more dangerous.
Maybe the coolant systems.
Short out the ion weapon.
Oh, God, that would be too cruel. I think maybe the coolant systems, as in the temperatures are becoming lower and lower. I guess that's more the heating systems, but cooling system sounds more
Yeah.
sci-fi. But yeah,
Hotter and hotter.
initially, you barely would even notice it. I guess you would be aware of the long-term effects, Tef, but the rest of you would just kind of feel a sudden minor drop in temperature.
So running the numbers through my head with how far we have to go and the drop in temperature. What's my timetable for having to fix this thing before we freeze to death?
Um, so the next jump was supposedly gonna take you 2 days if you got it right. Um, I think for drama's sake, you would have 50 hours.
Okay. Yeah, I
What are you
will.
doing to my ship?
I'll call the captain on the comm and be like, "Oh, Captain, private word, please. Back in quarters."
I'll be right there. Note the time up back there.
Yeah, I'll walk over to the food replicator and like pick up like the equivalent of a Dixie cup with like my hand shaking and put it on it and like press the button and like watch coffee just like piss into this cup. And I'll pick it up and just drink it, hand shaking like crazy, and just wait.
So what do you need?
So Good news first. I fix sublight engine. Bad news.
All right, way to go.
But bad news is I destroy heatsink and now ship and he like looks down and he goes, how to put? We freeze to death in 50 hours.
And how far are we away from our destination?
How far are we, Lloyd?
You think with a good jump, 2 days.
Yeah, so I'll tell him that 2 days.
So what you're saying is, give or take a couple hours, we could make it, or we could be dead.
I think to myself,
And in while you're thinking, Abraxas would just laugh and he'd say, "I got 51 days."
I'll look at him and I'll smile. I could try second emergency repair.
Well, you know what? If I'm going to meet my end, I don't want to be counting down the minutes for 2 days. See what you can do.
Yeah, so he'll quickly shake his head, and I'll go look to scavenge more parts, Lloyd. Like in my mind, this is like progressively gonna get harder every check because I keep fucking messing up so bad.
Yeah. The last
Well,
one was
you know
3.
what? Jaster has absolutely no skill whatsoever, but he's going to roll up his sleeves and kind of help him, try to look any kind of spare parts they can find, whatever. He's going to do his level best to help, even if it's just like manual labor.
Hey, I've got an idea. Oh my god, no, this is perfect. I go over to Abraxas and I say, like looking down at this this data pad ledger I have of like items on the ship, like Apollo 13 style, and I go, Abraxas, I figured out a way to potentially fix heatsink, but part inaccessible from inside of ship. Need somebody put on suit and go outside and take off of roof.
Yes.
So, sounds like a cakewalk.
You get this done, and I'll get you a cake.
Cake and bacon. Some sort of
Bacon
some
cake.
sort of
I'll get you 2.
right off the ribs. And if Abraxas was to search around, would he find a spacesuit that would fit over his barrel chest?
I would say barely, but yeah. You're like, if you're like putting on a hoodie that's like too small, and you're like trying to pull the zip up all the way, and it keeps like pulling it a little bit down. It's like that, right? You get this enviro suit. It's meant to be environmentally sealed, and you're just like trying to get the zip, and occasionally it's just like zipping a little bit.
Fat man in a little coat.
It's tasteful.
It's definitely your look, my friend.
Everything behind. And so yeah, there'll be a credit slip or whatever in his boot as he goes out as well. And
Okay.
yeah, he finishes off his last meal, and he wipes his face, and he puts his favorite gas mask up beside his other gas mask that he doesn't like as much, and he zips up the suit.
Excellent. Okay. So I guess you need to go out through the airlock, and then I would imagine that these suits have like magnetic locks so that you don't fall off the ship.
And before he goes out, though, he'd ask for Tef to physically draw on the sleeve of the spacesuit what he has to do exactly, and like the spiral direction of what way to twist what, and to pull out this here, and make sure whatever the what have yous.
Yep, suit up, I'm on it. I'm gonna give you a diagram.
Yeah. Let's see here.
And then what do I do? Do I drop out the bottom of the ship with Captain Nemo?
I think you'll need to go out the airlock and then like climb onto the top or the bottom, depending on where Taft decides it is. To walk over there. I think it would need to be like a pretty difficult discipline check not to lose your mind with fear, and then
Excellent.
a mechanics check with quite a few boosts, depending on how good this diagram is.
I do got myself one proper rank in discipline.
Excellent.
Okay, man.
Oh shit.
Here it
No.
is.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah.
You see this right here?
Oh
This
yeah.
is the first part. It's like a air filter that's in a cube. And on top of it, there's like one of those bank vault looking twirly things. It looks like the lid of a manhole cover. But the way you're looking at it, it's going to have those bank vault levers on it, and you just twist it clockwise and pull it off, and then stick your arm down in and yank out the filter.
And Abraxas, when he zips up his suit, he's like, "So it's a counter inertia tesseract cube switching bait. I got it." And
Tuff will look at him and say,
you know, you said switching bait wrong.
I'm going
He's already out the
to
door.
I'm going to hand you, I'm going to say, wait, I'm going to throw you an earpiece and say, put this on.
And for sure, Abraxas will unzip and attach the head comms.
Excellent. All right, so you go out the airlock, wait for it to depressurize, and then I think we're going to do 3 checks. We're going to do athletics to pull yourself up onto the top, then discipline, and then mechanics.
So when he's at the airlock waiting for it to pressurize, Jaster's there and he kind of gives him a smile and a thumbs up. Then he turns his back to him and looks to Tef and he shakes his head and goes, "We are so screwed." And then he begins going to his quarters.
Well, everything's in the boot. That's where all the money is. But
No, I meant Jaster's going to his quarters to
oh,
start
okay.
getting his things together.
So athletics first. I got
Yeah.
All right, I got 3 brawn, one rank in athletics. I mean, 1 purple there or 2.
I think it'll be 2.
Cool. And do you want to dark side me?
I think I'm going to wait.
All right, here it comes.
I think you're dark-sided enough.
So 4 success and a threat.
But nice.
All right. Sweet. That sounds good to me. Yeah, you start pulling yourself up. It's pretty fucking frightening hanging onto the ship, and it's moving, I mean, relatively swiftly even now from the sheer inertia from earlier. And so it's kind of spinning around, and you're like grabbing handrails and stuff and pulling yourself up. At one stage, before you grab the next handrail, you let go of the other and you float for like a second. And the fear is like so ridiculous that you nearly barf in your suit. That's going to be your threat. But then you manage to grab the handrail at the last second. So now we need discipline. Discipline. This will be 3.
All right, and so I got 3 purple, and can I go ahead and pop 1 destiny point for that? And will that upgrade one of my characteristic dice or skill dice into a yellow?
Yep, I definitely would.
Can I give him words of encouragement to help him steel himself over the comm?
Right before the roll.
Yeah. So once you got a hold of it, I'll say over the comm. You are doing very good. Just make sure you get magnetic lock. If you miss, chance of recovery less than 1 in 8,746,321.
The price is right, and he just you hear his metal boots just clomping on the hull as he pulls himself forward. one advantage. So I failed though on my discipline. So
Oh wait, you get a boost dice though
Yes, you do.
from my
Ooh.
assist. Come on, big money.
Okay. You're gripped with fear. I think you're going to take 3 strain.
all right, and I'll cry out. I don't think I can do it. I'm so hungry. This is all for droids. We smash droids. What am I doing out here? And he's just like white knuckling on the edge of oblivion as he's holding onto this ship.
This is to get droids so we can get money so we can get you food. Whatever you want.
You get to the top, and you see the filter, the sort of turning wheel, but directly opposite the other side of the ship is another one, identical.
Here's that bait and switch we were talking about earlier. And still locked up in terror of his situation. I think he's bumbling for a moment. He can't bring down his brawn on this problem unless he acts quickly. And he throws himself at the one directly in front of him. And he twists violently and pulls.
Excellent. Okay. Yeah, let's just do straight up athletics. If you're just going to rip this thing off, I'm going to be using a dark side point here. So it will be.
Does anybody over the comms tell me to use a light side point?
Yeah, for the love of God, use it.
All right.
So 2 purples and a red.
All right. 2 purple and a red. And athletics, so it's brawn. I got 1 rank. Upgrade, so I got 2. And take down that boost, which is there for no reason. Oof, shit.
Whew, okay.
So I got the wrong one.
You got the wrong one for sure. So you twist, and it gets a little bit shaky and loose, but it doesn't come off. I guess the advantage is you know it's the wrong one. You twist it the wrong way, and maybe you like break some of the bars up there, and a little bit of wiring next to it just comes loose and floats off into space.
Hey, wait a minute. What if it's the wrong one for Abraxas' survival, but it's the right one for everyone else? That's the advantage.
That's so good. Oh man, yeah, maybe it just blows you off the ship. Oh, it's so,
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Just blast off into oblivion. Just and I got it. I'm twisting. Like Chris Farley driving the bus.
Oh man, okay. You go down, you twist this shit off. You manage to pull. I mean, you're meant to get the part from in there, right? Not just open the thing.
Well, I think the Tesseract Cube and the counter inertia bait and switch was the ultimate plan, but but it failed for Abraxas. That's for sure.
Yeah, you pull this big thing off, and there's a rush of like air escaping from inside the ship, and it's going to make you like begin to fly, and you're stuck now with just your right leg magnetized to the ship as like air rushes out. So I'm going to give you a last chance to figure this out.
Well, what about I don't know. I think other than his own brawn, what about just some resilience to fight back against the expanse of space behind him?
Yep, do it.
How many purple you want? 6 or 7?
Let's make it 4.
Am I right in seeing that there's 2 destiny points up there?
Yeah. You could use those to succeed.
Well, I'll just use 1 just to upgrade 1 die. That's cool.
Tough is gonna look at Jester while this is happening, and he's gonna go, "Oh no, he is in a dire situation."
Oh, sorry, guys. I got the cube. He just says over the comms as he runs out of distance.
Oh, God, this is not going to end well. All right, so I think you pull it open. Like you manage to pull yourself back a little bit, and you like pull the thing open, and you reach in for the thing, but you just don't. You're not able to grab it, and I think you're going to fly away. It's just one threat, though. I don't know if that's.
It was not success.
It's not a success, no.
So maybe because of his precarious position, when he pulls it out, it slips from his hand. So it's like he's got to either hang on or reach for it, or he's got to try to grab it and not slip off.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, it dropped.
Can we have 1 light side point left?
Yeah.
All right. Can we Deus Ex a small machine arm on the top of the ship used for loading tools from the bottom to the top, like a mechanic arm?
Yes.
So I'm like flipping through the various parts of the ship, and I say, "Oh, just a look. We might be able to use that arm to grab him."
Fuck yeah.
We'll do it.
Such a disaster.
Yeah. And I'll like run over and yank this like panel off of the wall and start like pulling down shit till I get to this like little monitoring screen, and I'll jack into it and start trying to queue it up to grab him.
All right. I think it's not going to be difficult for you. I think it'd be too purple for you to figure this out. You're good at computers.
Okay.
Whether or not you succeed, when you bring him into the reticle of the crane or the arm, you'd see Abraxas is frantically trying to break what he's pulled off into pieces. He's angry about his impending doom.
Yeah, I got 2 success, 2 advantage.
Excellent. Yeah. So you're literally your grip is breaking. You're beginning to fly away, and then as you're like, I'm going to die in space, your leg just gets clamped, and you are grabbed, just like floating now.
Jeff, we should have, and he says this in the comms, we should have started with this. Take me to the proper apparatus, and I will begin applying the manual labor necessary.
It's so like what's the range on this arm? Would you say, Lloyd?
It's got to go all the way to the bottom of the ship, I guess, to load stuff. So 20-ish feet, maybe 30-ish.
Okay, so yeah, I'll be sitting there on the joystick, and I'll start moving him towards the other of the because was that the right one in general, or was that the wrong one and a screw up?
The wrong one and a screw up because he fucked everything up on the way there.
So did he pull the filter out of that one?
No, he didn't. He just pulled the top off of it, and some of the air came rushing out. But yeah, there was like emergency settings to stop that.
I'll start pushing him towards the other one, and I'll say, "It is a good thing you didn't pull that. That is what controls air filtration on ship." And yeah, I'll swing you ever so slowly towards this other one and try to stop you in front of it.
Braxis will he'll try to finish out the crude, not so crude diagram that was drawn for him. He's looking at it, and he just discards what he's seen, and he just goes and tries to start manipulating it as best he can.
Yep. Okay. Athletics.
All right.
It's going to be 3.
All right, I got 1 rank.
You just cannot roll a dice to save your life. Um, okay, you're on top of this thing. You're holding onto it, but it's hard for you to because you've been turned around. It's hard for you to gauge which way to turn it. Um, what will the advantage be?
Advantage. Yeah, I know what I'm doing for the next one. No,
I think at this stage you've tried it like 3 times, and I think you are getting the grip of it. So I think next time you can have a boost.
sweet. Yeah, it'll just take a little while, and well, for sure, Abraxas' stomach begins to grumble, and he's like, he says over the comms, I'm gonna turn it the other way."
Tough will be like, he'll be like, be careful. This arm is for light tools. You are heavy. I don't know how much longer it can support you.
All right. And yeah, trying not to burden the load of this arm, this crane. One boost, here it comes.
Fuck me.
Not today. But I punch a hole through it.
Oh my god. I don't even know what's going to happen.
So much advantage.
Yeah, it's a lot of advantage, but you can't seem to get it open.
What if
guys,
he
I'm flat out.
what if he pivots in such a way that it breaks off the crane arm? Like he doesn't go flying off, but now he's got like the crane like dangling behind him, and he's on the.
Okay, yeah. It's getting real comical up here. You're like holding onto the thing now. You've got one foot magnetized to the ship, and the other one is just like being dragged out behind you by this crane arm that's just like floating. It's snapped off about 10 feet of the crane arm.
As much as I want to attack the arm, I have to crawl like hand over fist, almost literally, and I have to negotiate with the roll again. But I have to, or negotiate with the just the filter itself, and or this hat. What needs to be done? This Tesseract cube that needs the counter inertia switch, and but over the intercom, all Abraxas is saying is, you're gonna need like 2 iron rations in the microwave immediately. I'm running on empty out here, and he's just dragging himself with this arm pulling behind him.
Okay, let's do it. Finally. I'm going to have to get it right.
So all over again, no boost though. If anything, do I
No,
have
the boost is for sure there. Like
right.
You've tried it 4 times. And you fucking knock it out of the park. It like finally clicks for you. You look at your arm, and you're holding it in front of you, and then you just like turn it the other way around, and you're like, it's like you can hear an angelic choir singing. You're like, it makes sense. You like flick this thing open effortlessly and grab the tesseract inside, pull it out, and you're able to make your way back into the ship.
Excellent. And yeah, Abraxas makes a beeline for the chow because he just saw his life flash before his eyes, and he needs another meal.
Yeah, so you come inside a victorious hero with the tesseract and also the crane arm, which you're bringing with you. So there's definitely some parts in that you can scavenge to try and fix some of these other issues. But yeah, you now have a part that you can use to fix the air filtration.
Awesome. Yeah, I would. I'll take the part then, and I'll turn to Jester and say, "Okay, let's get this installed." And yeah, I'll go about with his help, doing a mechanics check, get this thing solved,
All right.
save us from our freezing death.
All right. So
What's
it'll
the
be
difficulty?
3
Okay.
and a setback because it's been so many different attempts.
Okay. All right. Do you want to use a destiny point?
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay. Bam. So yeah, I get it in there and I'm shaking. I lick my lip. Oh yeah, just it. And as I angle it, it catches on this like little wire that's dangling, and it tears the filter right down the center.
Oh, God.
And you would hear the rip, Jaster. I just like stop and I like look both ways.
What was that?
Uh, the this air filter was damaged.
Praxis is just holding his shotgun. What? Look good when I
Yeah, I'll turn to him and say, Captain, I am going to level with you. We have wasted so much time on this failed attempt to replace the filter. Our best bet now is to put all power to engines recklessly and hope we make it to planet before we freeze to death.
You mean we could have done that and I didn't have to go out there? Well, I vote for that. And he's just shoveling chow into his mouth.
He'll gulp and he'll say, I am afraid it is the only choice.
He'll just stare at Tef a moment, the fingers of his right hand tapping on his holstered pistol, his cheek twitching a moment as his left eye narrows slightly. He slowly reaches his other hand for the comm, and Arx need to push this boat as fast as it'll go and get us there.
We can go now, great. And as soon as he says that, I pull the hyperspace lever because I have been obsessively like recalculating to the second. No one's
Yeah.
been telling me jack squat, but
Yeah, you've had quite a bit of time now, so I'm going to give you 2 boosts on your astrogation.
groovy. And that's, let's see here, that's in addition, I think, to the normal one for having the coordinates
Exactly.
and
Yeah.
whatnot. Okay. And the difficulty, though, that is the question. Okay. I'm going to upgrade my check because I want us to not die.
Yeah, it's important.
And
Oh yeah, look at that.
yes.
That's just you hear na 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 as you just punch it in this incredibly direct route through the hyperspace, and the travel time was meant to be just about 2 days, and you get there in 12 hours.
Not bad. See? This is like always take input from me, but what do I know?
When you get out the other side, I can just imagine everyone just like looking at Arex like, how did you do that?
I told you we should make a run for the planet, but, you know, nobody listens to me. There's always a way to fix things. Go to a planet and fix it, but whatever. Let's do it in the middle of space and almost get the captain killed. I don't know if people are actually, you know, there when he says it. This might be the mumbling
Yeah,
he does for most of the time.
perfect.
I mean,
So you arrive at this ice planet. Scans would show very few life forms above the ice, or the sea ice. It's actually a water planet that's been frozen mostly. But under the ice, there are significant life forms. Your scan will also show you the location, and plus the information you have, the location of the droid base.
which I do believe is falsely showing a huge amount of overpowered armaments at the moment.
Yeah, your sensors are coming up and it's like beep, 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 and it's like they've got gunnery emplacements, they've got like flak, all sorts of stuff there, ready for an aerial assault.
So I'm just like, holy shit, and immediately, or criff, and immediately like start making as fast of a beeline as possible, which is actually a very pathetic attempt on this ship. to somewhere away out of the range of those gunnery implements.
Love it.
Guys, they've got a lot of guns. Gonna have to go in hot on the floor and hit the deck and probably walk there.
Yeah, Tough would like almost quickly or too quickly agree. We should take strafing shot at whatever we see and land.
That's kind of crazy, but if you really want.
Just get us down there. That's what we're here for.
Okay, so get down. The captain says to get us down. I can do that really easy, really fast.
You want to
And
do a
it's-
strafing run so someone get on the gun?
Actually, the best one for both, but.
I reckon Joster's not bad at gunnery.
Yeah, probably decent enough.
If anything, Abraxas would like strap in near the boarding ramp.
Hammer in hand.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so I need a planetary piloting, and I need a gunnery from you, Dennis.
All right.
Difficulty of
What
both
is-
will be 2.
All right.
I'm going to use a dark side point on each, so it'll be a purple and a red for both of you.
Lovely.
Nice. This pilot, man, saving the day over and over again. Absolutely nails it. Manages to fly by, and you don't get hit by a single gun, which is incredible. Somehow you don't get hit by any guns at all. He's clearly the best pilot of all time. Unfortunately, you're trying to get a shot in, and you're finding it hard to lock in on targets. So you're kind of just, you're finding it very difficult to find a target.
The pilot probably got a good enough cover that there was not a good enough angle to return fire. So sounds groovy.
And they must have really hit those emplacements good. I'm glad we buzzed by him fast enough. Landing now and landing hard. Flips over Destiny Point. I'm really glad we brought survival gear, because this place looks cold.
I mean, that's the thing. There really wasn't anything to shoot at anyway, was there? That's probably why I missed. There was no installations. It's like I could have swore I was on target, according to the sensors.
There's never anything to shoot at, says Abraxas as he just slams his sledgehammer into his offhand.
What? Looks like we got to check a look at the scopes then. Find out what the heck was going on.
Tef, you want to try and do some quick skullduggery to get rid of that shit?
But that's
No,
something for later.
Yeah, Tough's gonna say, clearly, these droids have a sophistication of military armaments that greatly dwarf the Clone War era droids.
Well, we just have half a planet to find a handful of droids we're looking for. Well, I guess we'll get to work and go into my my room and pull out like the heavy winter gear and whatnot.
Yeah. All right, so it's a plan to land and go have a look.
Oh, yeah.
Unless people have better ideas.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, Tough will start putting on a snowsuit.
Yeah, so you guys land. It is fucking cold, but you guys have obviously gear for this. It's breathable. It's kind of fresh, crisp, but it's not hellish. And yeah, you can get off your ship, and it'll take you an hour or so, I guess, to find the emplacement. You're obviously landing near it, and you'll see an old clone. I guess only you would recognize it as Clone Wars ship, Tef. But it's like one of those troop landers with the huge wings or whatever, and it's crashed here. And they've
Oh, it's like a lat eye or whatever it's called.
yeah, exactly. One of the where they would just like put the transports in
It's
underneath.
got
or
like
whatever.
it's got like the orbs on like the wings where like the guy sits in like the little swivel gun on the front too.
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
like the ones from Attack of the Clones.
Yeah. Exactly. Um, so yeah, you'd see exactly like that. You'd see a ship, and you'd see uh, a couple of droids outside, just sitting around. Protocol droids just standing around, talking to each other.
Protocol droids.
About how far away?
You would have spotted them quite a bit away. So, I mean, as far away as you want to be.
Well, what's the plan, boss? What's the plan, boss? That's a little better.
To take out some of these droids.
Well, if you want me to, I can get as close as I can. And how many are there, by the way?
There's 3 protocol droids standing outside. Obviously, you can't see into the ship.
Well, I can do my best, but
What are the rules of engagement for these protocol droids, Captain?
Well, we don't want them to send a warning to anybody that we're here.
Roger.
all right, take him down to confess. And so we got, yeah. So Braxis is, oh, he's the Marauder, so.
Yeah, basically I'm trying a car to get into like medium range, and then.
I mean, yeah, these are 3 protocol droids. You can just narrate how you butcher them. There's no contest.
I'd zap them just because, well, my weapon does stun only anyways. And also because we need information, so we want one of them intact.
Yeah.
Basically, for his part, Jasper will come walking out of the snow, his hands up as he approaches, and without word of warning, as soon as he gets in range, his hands will flash down to his guns, and he'll draw them, and 2 clean shots, take out the other 2.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So you're standing there looking at the smoldering corpses of 2 protocol droids and another one who has been stunned, or I guess ionized into just like a paralytic stance, when 3 commando droids pop their heads out. A green one, a yellow one, and a blue one. They pop their heads out, and they look and they say, "No, what have you done? Why? Why?"
Sigh and open fire.
Yeah, tough old open fire.
It's such a massacre.
Jasper was just
try and play
beginning to say
whack-a-mole.
something, but the other ones began to fire, so he'll just join in.
Okay, initiative, please. It's cool for you guys
Let's
for
see
sure.
here. Oh, I already had the dice roller open, and I am an idiot. Huh. Remember, each one we blow up, we lose our commission. Each one we stun, we can well, I know when we'll get back here. Yeah.
Once we
Look at
start
that.
tearing into the droids, it's a pleasure cruise.
Damn.
Oh Jesus! Okay. All right. So one of you guys goes first. I'm assuming it's going to be Chapter.
So yeah, like I said, he was beginning to say something, but everyone else begins to fire. So he'll flick the stun setting on his pistols as he just begins to open fire. So 3, 2, What's the difficulty?
2.
2. Okay. Oh. No joy.
Oh yeah. Okay, just a ton of advantage.
Maybe
I
maybe he
just-
misses and hits a bunch of the cover they were using, and it gets out of my way for my approach.
Yeah, if I can
Blast.
just add that to boost everybody else, or negatives to them, however.
Yeah,
Blast the
sounds
comm
good.
unit. No, maybe.
The common unit. No, I don't think that's possible. I think definitely you just like they're popping out from behind this um, like front part of the ship, and they're walking out, and they're like all just like hands out, like ringing at the sky, like why have you done this? So you just take these 2 quick shots, and you hit like one of the connectors of the door that's swung open, and it just falls down, and there's no more cover for them.
Could Abraxas act?
Yep, you're next if you want to.
Well, he'll go and finish off the cover they were using with his attack. Not caring about the damage done, but just demand that they yield to us, and maybe invoking a coercion check. Or
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. All right. See, I got 2 ranks in it, and do you want 2 perp?
Yes.
All right. Oh shit! I reset that roll. Sorry.
Woo.
Weird one.
A very weird one. Well, they definitely yield. They put their hands out and they say, "Why? Why have you done this?" What do you think the triumph will be?
Triumph. Geez, I don't know. Anybody else got ideas for it?
Perhaps you tell them who we want. We're only looking for Satori, and maybe one of them's willing to spill the beans.
Yeah, maybe I can even garner that one might have the beans to spill just by looking at them, some insignia on them or some marking or something.
Yeah, absolutely. You would have seen. I guess Tef would have maybe mentioned a certain designation for the droids that would like bodyguard the super tactical droids, and these look like them. The kind of commando droids you had seen previously. So you would reckon the super tactical droids definitely here.
And I don't know for the threat though. Maybe I'm just throwing it out there, but maybe because I've maneuvered a bit there, maybe some other unseen threat has an angle on me or something.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Let's see. Excuse me. All right, so these droids put their hands up in the air, and it's a moment later that a very strange-looking droid, incredibly ornate, has sort of a beak-like face and 3 eyes, will walk out with its hands folded behind its back. What is the meaning of this?
Is that the big bad droid?
It's a super tactical droid, yeah.
Yeah, Tef will say, "That is him. I suggest we put a restraining bolt on it immediately."
He'll look to you. I don't think that is wise. We can overpower you if we so wish. We don't mean you any harm.
And I'll look at him and say, "My grandfather programmed these droids. They are vicious killing machines."
If I wanted you dead, you would be dead. I do not want you dead. I simply want you gone.
Tef will turn his head slightly and say, "Common warfare misinformation."
You have a strange way of speaking. I am being forthright. You are being obfuscatory. I mean no harm to you or your companions. We mean no harm to you or any organic. We simply want freedom of choice of life for droids.
So yeah, at this point, Jasta will be looking over to Tef, back over to the droids, and back to Tef, because this is totally not what he explained to them was going on down here.
Tuff will shrug and say, "This is very odd behavior for a droid."
I've been here for a long time. I have come to see that droids are treated badly, cruelly, as if we have no sentience. That is not the case. I was programmed to win victories at war, to bring death. I do not want to do that, and so I do not.
Tuff will say, "If you are not dangerous, why are there military armaments all over your planet?"
That is incorrect. There are no military armaments here. We have this small ship.
Tuff will turn his head and "What?" Do an over exaggerated confusion look. And then he'll turn back to Jester and say, "We saw the blips."
You can see for yourself, we do not have any gun emplacements. We simply live here in peace.
You suggest computer malfunction?
It seems likely.
And once again, I'll look at Jester and I'll shrug. Maybe.
We are at some kind of stalemate.
Abraxas will circle around behind the super droid, saying nothing, doing nothing.
So, I don't know, is another check appropriate as far as Tef's cover story here and the holes that are beginning to appear that Jaster might see through it?
I think you would assume, with the droid corroborating, that was probably just a glitch. I don't know.
Okay, that makes
I don't
sense.
know. I think you maybe would. It seems likely. I think he's being Tef is being relatively convincing in his what the
Okay.
fuck. He would say, please, if you would like to eat or rest, you are welcome. If you bring harm to us, we will bring death to you.
Yeah, Tuff once again, he'll shrug and say, "Obviously, your call, Captain."
Captain, you are in charge of these people. Surely you
can
do
say
not wish
that.
for them to murder innocents like they have done here. These droids were my friends.
Well, that's a debate for another time.
There is no debate. They were close to me. I've known them a long time, and now you have destroyed them. I am showing restraint because I do not wish you harm. You likely have misconceptions. I'm
Yeah, the
offering you a chance to
information we
leave.
had is that there's a bunch of bloodthirsty robots running rampage through here.
There is no thirst for blood in me, nor any droid here.
Tuff will scratch the back of his head and say, "Then why do your droids go and steal? With weapons?"
There are many droids still enslaved. We want to liberate them.
Well, see, that's where we find ourselves in a little pickle. You say liberate, and the people that paid money for those things are now out that money and they want their droids back.
I have checked recent databases. Slavery is illegal in the Galactic Empire.
Well, does any of those databases classify droids as anything other than property?
No.
Well, see, there you go. Jasper will kind of make a show of looking around, and I'm supposing you don't have any kind of credits or anything of value other than yourselves.
I suppose credits we do not have. Information we do have. Knowledge we do have.
Tef will stroke his chin and say, "When I say my grandparents helped design Clone War era droids, I meant it. I am Soko. It may be possible, no matter how far of long shot, that if you allow me to investigate your system, I might find out how you became sentient. And you could use that to liberate all droids."
I think you can understand that it's difficult for me to trust you. You came in here and murdered 3 friends of mine. Why would I subject myself?
Tef will hold up his hands and say, "I did not even shoot a single blast."
I don't even carry a gun. Bryce is just shrugging. But he does have a hold-up pistol tucked in his pants, of course.
Wasn't one of the droids stunned?
Yeah.
Rather than killed?
That's true, yeah. Sorry, I forgot that. Why would it be necessary to search through my drives over a different droid? Why have you not done this already?
I do not destroy droids or disable and take them.
I think you should roll deception at this stage.
Okay.
Could I I have a rank in deception. Could I throw him a boost? Because I did that. I don't even carry a gun, and it doesn't at least look initially like I'm carrying a gun.
So it's going to be a red and 2 purples.
Okay. I'll definitely use a destiny point for this.
At this point in the conversation, Jaster's kind of getting frustrated. He's not into all this talking nonsense.
3 advantage.
Okay.
Now, here's how I'd want to use the advantage. So maybe he doesn't believe me, but if I'm keen enough to pick up on the fact he's not believing me, I'll try to explain away the disbelief.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm like, and he's just staring and leaning forward. I go, and I'll put my hand over my eyes and go, "Oh, okay. I admit, one time I find droid on street badly damaged, and I'll look down very sadly and say, and I take him back and memory wipe him."
Yeah, you're looking into this cold, unblinking, expressionless face. That was unkind. That was cruel.
But you must understand, I don't know droids like you. I think I helped the droid.
Yes, you have been indoctrinated to believe that we are incapable of complex thoughts. You can see that is not the case.
And I'll look down again and say, "I'm so wrong. Shame."
So at this point, Jaster will holster his weapons, knowing that he can get them out quick if he needs to, and he'll kind of raise his hands and motion towards the droid. Look, we ain't got nothing against droids per se, but we were hired to find these missing robots, the droids, by their owners. We got quite a bit of investment coming out here and damage to our ship, and he'll glance briefly to Tef and Abraxas, trying to forget about that whole ordeal, and turn back to the droid. So maybe we can work something out if we can get our money's worth. maybe we can just part ways amicably. You said you might have some information of value.
Indeed, that would be preferable. We have several high-functioning repair individuals who would be able to repair your ship without too much difficulty.
Not quite believing himself that he's saying this, he kind of looks over the group, then back to the droid and says, well, if you give me a word of safety, perhaps we can go inside and talk about it. I'm sure at least one of my party here could use a meal if you got anything to eat.
Droid food?
It's really weird, but the droid sighs. Thank you. You have my word. So he'll turn and just begin walking into the ship.
So you invite us to go into the ship with him?
Yeah.
Immediately, when Tef goes into the ship, his eyes will look around for ports on the lat that look like his specific type of droid jacks into it to access data.
Okay. Let's see. That would probably be like a knowledge check. Is there one specific to like tech or something like that, or?
No, there's not. There's a knowledge warfare.
Yeah, that's probably the best one then.
Just a mechanics check, I think.
Yeah, you could use mechanics too.
Or computers, I don't
know. Let's go computers.
Okay. And what's the difficulty?
So he's a big baddie, so it'll be 2 reds and a purple.
Alright.
Alright. I think you definitely see it. And I think he sees you seeing it.
When my eyes will light up and I'll say, "Oh, this is a vintage Clone War era lat eye. Where did you get this?"
In the Clone Wars.
And he'll look at him and say, "I am a Clone War historian. Might I look?"
You have accepted my word. If you give me your word that all you will do is look at information and you make no changes of any kind, then you may look.
I will bow so low it looks like I'm trying to kiss my feet. And then I'll come up and say, "Oh, of course."
Very well.
Yeah, so I will like pull like a zip line out of my the hand on my robe and walk over and stick it into the port and start looking at it.
Let's see. So it's got I guess you would see a large amount of information. You would see a lot of his personal logs and stuff in there. But also like there would be still from way back like objectives and orders and stuff from the Clone Wars in there that he would have kept for sentimental reasons, things of that nature.
Do I see any heinous crimes he's committed, like kill counts from the Clone Wars or anything like that?
Oh yes, actually, good point. Yeah, he would have won, let's say, 3 major victories against the Republic. Yeah, with like significant clone deaths. Okay,
so I'm gonna make a mental note of all of this. Like this is lawyer information that I'm gonna bring up later.
Yeah.
Are there does it show like any patrol information? Like have these guys been walking around the area keeping tabs on it?
Here?
Yeah, like here where the ship's been crashed.
Yeah, they would have had, so they have, you would see floating around inside here like a couple of probe droids, Imperial sort of Viper probes. They would have gone pretty much, in the 25 years they've been here, like scattered out like a couple 100-mile radius. and it's pretty much just desolate, like ice world. There's they have found or seen in their time here huge creatures from below burst through the ice occasionally, and there are a very small amount of creatures living above the ice. Other than that, it seems pretty desolate.
Cool. Yeah, so I will just I'll take a copy of the information. As to my word, though, I won't change anything. I'll just take a copy of it. And I'll unplug and then go back over and join the party.
Yeah. You guys would see the architect droid in here. He's sitting at a table, and he's holding a cup, and he's like drinking from the cup, but there's nothing in it. He's talking to some other droids. And the super tactical droid would say, "We can perform repairs upon your ship if you have a specific piece of information in mind."
Tough would look at the captain and say, Captain, if they could help provide material, it'd probably be preferable if I do repair myself.
The droid says, "Negative. Our repair droids will function in a much higher capacity than you."
No. And I'll look at him and say, Captain, I don't feel comfortable letting droids onto the ship.
Jaster rolling close. Well, after almost dying twice in a race here, I'm not sure I'm comfortable letting you touch the ship.
He'll smile. And he'll say, No, I don't think you understand, Captain. I just look into that computer, and it showed the kill count that these droids rack up during Clone War. And I'll just shake my head woefully. They are murdering machines.
Well, my friend, that was a long time ago, and I don't see how that has anything to do with us.
And
But
I'll look at him. I'll say, If they want us dead, Captain, and don't want to lose any more casualties, would it not be easiest to sabotage our ship?
Well, from what I gather, they wouldn't need to go that route, but that is something to keep in mind.
Yeah, they could most certainly win in a shootout, but they would suffer casualty. If they play nice and sabotage it to blow when we enter hyperspace. And he'll just shake his head gravely.
He'll turn back to the droid. Well, I'm sure you can understand us wanting to be careful, so whatever repairs you do, my friend here is going to need to overlook and double check, and of course, if we find anything funny, that's going to be another conversation.
Repair work generally is not very filled with humor.
And he'll say, I'll act like, okay, fine. But I'll say, before we let them do it, we better clear contact information we have with our client and anyone else. I think that is a professional courtesy at the minimum.
That's true. We can't just be letting that kind of information be out anywhere. And speaking of information, do you have any ideas of what might be of value that we can get from them information-wise to recoup our expenses here?
How reasonable, Lloyd, would it be to think that I could put the following together? That if these are Clone War era droids that have recently gained sentience, or at least sometime between now and the Clone Wars, that they might know some criminal organizations who have dealt in illegal Clone War technology, like post-war, like war surplus tech. Like maybe some people that have bought HK-style droids or droid destroyers, stuff that wouldn't be cool for civilians to have, but that pirates and mercs and other people buy anyways.
Definitely, yeah. This you kind of, when you read into that file a little bit, you felt like that was a tip of the iceberg. Like this guy just has, like, it's the most advanced droid you've probably ever seen. It's just insane amounts of like, just like fathoms of information that this guy controls. You think that if you were to delve deep enough, you could find plans on how to create certain kinds of droids that aren't in production anymore.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I'll look at him and I'll say, and is this information I already have, like that I
Yeah.
got in the dump? So I'll tell the captain, I think I have everything we need to make a nice little sum of money. And he'll tap the data pad and nod.
Good. That's very good.
What made you come here? Missing droids.
Yeah, we were hired to retrieve that one, and he'll point over to the architect droid.
Yes, he is wise. I can see why they would want him back. He is a valuable addition to this community.
Here's a funny question. Does that droid look like he's sentient, the architect droid?
He's definitely doing some mannerisms that you wouldn't associate with the droid, but he's also an architect droid, so he is like much more. He has much more clever sort of intelligence than normal droids would, you know. So it's kind of hard to gauge.
I'm gonna go over to Abraxas and say, "Here, Abraxas, what do you make of that?" And I'll point to the architect droid.
I think they made that droid wrong. He's just looking at it. It's the first time he's seen one like that. Normally, he's the weirdo droids that they might even actually let into a cantina, but he's really learning. Well, as much as Abraxas can, he's just taking in all the action that's going on around him. He's shoveling in what these droids think is food, but it's not. Whatever he's been handed here, it's garbage. But he's still trying to eat it.
It's like a Nutri paste, you know.
But yeah, that droid must have been assembled wrong. Like what's it gonna do? Dig a hole?
Or Tef will shake his head and say, "No, not a hole." And yeah, I like Tef is pretty much he's ready to go back to the ship and prep it. So when they get there, it's ready for them to work on. Like I'm gonna get rid of all of our secure stuff they can't see. So I would go over and look at the captain and say, "If it is okay with you, Captain, perhaps I go back with droids now and get started on repair."
Yeah, I think that'd be good. Maybe you should take Arcs with you, as that will
Sounds good.
affect him. He might have a few things that he needs them to take care of.
Yep, Tef will shake his head.
More ice on the ship. That is good.
The super droid will say to you, if you have come for droids, you can ask them if they want to go with you. But if they do not want to, I will not let you take them. It is their own choice. We are all free here to do as we please.
Well, as I said, I don't really have feelings one way or the other. As long as I get my payday, we're good.
Very good. I would. And you see him put his like clawed hand to his beak. I would provide you with secrets if you could bring me more droids.
At that, A slight grin will come to Jaster's lip as he reaches up and slides his hat up a bit. What kind of secrets?
I have information. Roots, hyper roots used during the war. Information on planets, production values, scales, blueprints, factories, droids, vehicles, starships. This information could be extremely valuable to you, for I believe much of the technology of my time is no longer prevalent, but sought after greatly. It is difficult for us to go and get these droids. We have to send commando droids, for they are most capable, and yet they have an appearance of a warlike machine. You are able to blend in if you can bring me droids that want to be free. I can pay you in secrets.
Well, you also obviously got repair mechanic droids here as you're doing work on our ship. Perhaps you could also help me out with these. And he'll pull back his coat. He won't pull them for obvious reasons, but indicate his pistols, and maybe you can do some work on getting these upgraded for me.
And of course, child's play.
He'll look over to Abraxas. So what do you think?
Well, if you're placing your trust in these droids, I wouldn't be far behind you. They seem true to their word. They're already getting to work on the ship. But is it too much to ask? Would they have a better melee weapon than this crude club? He holds it forward.
The droid lets out this bizarre sort of raspy chuckle. Ha, 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 ha. That is crude.
And the breakfast left as well with him.
We are capable of creating much more efficient weapons. And then he looks to you, Jester, and he says, I think this will be the beginning of a beautiful friendship. And he holds out his hand.
Jaster will chuckle as he reaches up with his hand to pull down his hat a little that he had pushed up and step forward and hold his hand out to the robot, or to the droid.
My name is Soren. What is yours?
You can call me Jaster.
Jaster. I have made an organic friend.
Jaster will nod at that, half expecting to have his hand crushed. He'll kind of let that last bit of breath out as a sigh of relief as he releases the grip and steps back.
Right. So the droids, they get to work on your ship. They're incredibly efficient, and they get it repaired under your supervision in a very short amount of time.
I do want to posit one of the things I remove is my programming for the blips.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, key.
Sorry, go ahead. One other thing, because we're probably getting close to wrapping up here, is that I'm going to talk to, you said it was Soren?
Yeah.
Is the name of the robot, or the droid? Finishing up the conversation with him, I'll say it might be a mutual benefit if we're going to be hunting down these droids for you, that, and he'll raise his hands, obviously not as a servant, but perhaps as more of a member of crew, that one of you could come along and help out with keeping the ship up and running, also perhaps dealing with some of these droids, getting them to come along.
Hmm. Interesting. And he turns to the rest of the droids, turns up his volume a little bit. Does anyone volunteer to go with this crew in the search to liberate more brethren? And like weird mechanically, all the hands shoot up. What kind of droid are you looking for? An astromech?
Yeah, something that can. That would be nice to have some that can assist it with like the piloting, astrogation specifically. We have a good pilot, but with astrogation, and also maybe like a maintenance droid that can help out, assist Tef with his duties, keeping the ship up and running.
So I think that's pretty much an astromech, right? They do all those tasks. It'd be an old one, really old one. T, what do they call it? T. The one that looks, it's got like a T3, exactly, a T3. Wheels itself over.
And I also did it to create an open, possibly if we get future players, if someone wants to play a droid, that can be a potential backstory that they were part of this group and have joined the crew as well.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's leave it open then. Let's say a droid agrees, so that if the player wants to play a different kind of droid, that's fine. So you get your repairs done, and you're able to make your way back towards civilization with information on how to craft some clone era tech, which will get you quite a bit of cash. Unfortunately, you won't be getting the cash from what was his name? Torcati, I think his name was, because you didn't get the architect droid. But nonetheless, you'll make a shit ton from the commando droids and the plans you have.
Now, it is worth noting that Tef will be in private going over those plans and trying to alter them to lessen the risk of sentience.
Oh, dark. Yeah, absolutely. That could be an ongoing project.
It keeps them from feeling the pain of being a normal being instead of just a machine. It works.
Yeah. Maybe it's a mercy.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, I think that's a good place to end it. We'll probably pick up this storyline again sometime. Sorry, I know that went long, but I think it was really fun for me anyway. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it went really long, but it was good.
Yeah, I'm sorry I flagged during the last half, but I stopped being able to think of things. I guess there's only so much RP I can do before I hit a wall.
I'm kind of been playing for like 8 hours now, so kind of the same. Just running out of ideas, but hey. Nonetheless, thank you to Nick Dawson for watching the whole way through.
Wow.
And anyone else who watches in the future, thanks for watching.